All right. Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom, saints. For the Most High Yah. Pastor Rufus here from Servants of Yah. Another video. All right. This one we got here. I believe I titled this, What's False Witnesses Sound Like. But what I'm going to do is I am going to react to this so-called eyewitness testimony against Pastor Rufus by the saints from his community. This is a video that was originally put on Patreon for you to buy for $20. And then after a bunch of scrutiny, it was put on, I think, the dollar level for Patreon. Still had to pay for it. And then it finally got put on YouTube. So what you're going to get from me today is me breaking it down. It's a little bit of a video. It's like an hour and 19 minutes. So if I'm reacting, that could be a 2-hour video. I don't know if I want this to be that long. So some of this I may skip. Okay. We'll see though, because there are things that are being said by these wicked pastors up here, Mir, Dow, and Phillips, that need to be addressed as well. All right. So what this is supposed to be, now what this was supposed to be was a meeting of the saints going up there to hear what supposedly my sins were. All right. Supposedly. Let's break it down and let's see. Let's see what's sin. Let's see what they told the truth on. Let's see what they lied about. All right. Since I was not allowed to be in this meeting to face my accusers. First off, they didn't even know they were going to accuse me. What took place was they got a chance to talk to this dude right here. And he put batteries in everybody's back. And he pushed the narrative of what was going on when it was just a flat out lie. So let's get to it. Let's get to it and see where we at. All right, let's go.
I just got something in my spirit. We got to be working our ass off. And in that meeting, I jumped on him constantly about his lack of work. I jumped on him about how obese he is. Because he kept coming at me. So I went right back at him.
We got to stop already. I'm assuming what Dow is talking about is the meeting in Wisconsin where Pastor Mir, Pastor Dow, myself, Elder Brent, Elder Becker, Elder Mitchell was in that meeting. Pastor Corey was not a part of that meeting. Constantly got on me about my work ethic. No, that's a lie. That's the excuse he tried to use to deflect from us catching him in lies. And constantly getting on me about my weight. That was just, his feelings. That was just his feelings. And that's, as y'all have seen, that's his attack. Now, again, the same man has told everybody from the Bible, and you can find this in the book, how gluttony, which is what he's trying to say, I'm obese, I'm morbidly obese, is in the same category and the same thing as being a drunkard. And you never hear him do any kind of messages about drunkenness. Somebody please go and find me the message. Because remember, he says he never ducks anything. He talks and teaches about anything. I want to see the messages that he has out there about drunkenness. He's got 7,000 messages. It should be easy to find a message on Pastor Dow on drunkenness. Because I'll tell you all this now. And he may mention this in this, y'all. I'm actually watching this with y'all for the first. I never watched this. I saw bits and pieces that people sent me and stuff, but I've never watched this in its entirety. So we may watch this all together for the first time. But in this meeting that he's referring to, I told Dow, I said, this is fine. Okay, if my weight is offensive to you. All right. Now, mind you, Mir, who's bigger than me, his weight ain't offensive. We have other leaders that are bigger than me. We have other leaders that do zero work, y'all. Show me the work that Elder Rob does, Elder Kabir, Elder McGill. How many times Elder Donnie's been on these job sites? Now, I'm not bashing these men. I'm just keeping it honest with y'all. Y'all have seen me in Indiana working y'all many times. Y'all have seen me in Kentucky working many times. Straitway working many times. Of course, on Georgia, Alabama. They said I did no work in Alabama, right? That what Michael Israel got up and testified yesterday on the One Brothers thing. I was there. You wasn't doing nothing. Where was you at when we poured 97 yards of concrete, Michael Israel? Guess what, y'all? Y'all can go to Straitway, Kentucky, and look on Elder Mitchell's page, and you'll see me there in my famous Army fatigue camouflage pullover sweatshirt, knee deep in concrete, pouring 97 yards of concrete. We got all that done in one day, y'all. One day. It's on Elder Mitchell's channel, Straitway Kentucky East, or Elder Mitchell Straitway Kentucky East, I believe is what it is. But I don't do no work. I was there when we laid all those blocks. And I did what I was told to do by Brother Jonathan, who ran that project. He didn't have a problem with the work I was doing. He didn't have a problem with the work I did in Georgia on my house. Again, this is the false narrative that's being pushed. Dow is telling me, get out there and do more work. Dow ain't doing more work, y'all. I promise you. Y'all heard Jamie's testimony. Dow would be the type on the day-to-day stuff. He'll come, do a little quick 10, 15-minute video, and then leave. I already knew that about Dow, though. And I ain't tripping out that. If you got enough men to do the work, I don't think the head of the thing should be out there doing it all day, every day. That's not what he should be doing. He got more important stuff to do. I had more important stuff to do. But guess what? All the big projects, there was never one done on my land, on our land in Georgia, nor at anybody else's that I didn't show up for and do what I was told to do. Let's go. Let's see what they talking about here. Let's see what Dow talking about.
So before we take his Passover, all of us, get your heart. If you notice, I'm not running to the public platform. I'm not running to tell every Tom, Dick, Harry, Mutt, and Jeff and to try to get them over to my side.
Man, I don't know if we're going to be able to finish this, y'all, because Dow is so full of lies. I don't know what, man, this may be a 27-hour video. Now, for the record, y'all, he claims he's not going to social media. He was the first one to go. He put it out there publicly that Georgia, on a Thursday, Straitway, Georgia no longer existed. He did that on Patreon. Go look it up. Then that Friday, he did a 2-hour blog talk talking about it. Then on Shabbat, he talked about it over and over again on that Shabbat. 3 days of it. Before me and Elder Brent sat down and said, let's go ahead and do our video. Then we get accused of taking it to the public. We tried to keep it private the whole time. He's the one that rejected it from being private. Now, mind you, he has no problem meeting with these Georgia saints here, as long as I'm not there. When they were scheduled to come to Georgia on their schedule, I never agreed to that schedule. All the elders never agreed to that schedule. We never even got to a point of doing it. It was a suggestion they were going to come up with. I declined the suggestion and gave them 2 options to still do the meeting, y'all. I told Dow, I told Becker, I told Elder Mitchell and Elder Brent, y'all can come. I don't need everybody there if y'all coming down to levy some type of judgment against me, even though the elders had not come into any kind of agreement of a sin that I had committed. Do y'all know that? The elders said they never once came to a consensus agreement of a sin that I committed. Now they want to present that to y'all like that, but that's not true. Elder Brent's leaving is the number one example of it. That's an elder that was a part of it because he was in the meeting in Wisconsin and he was in all these other meetings that they had and all these Skype meetings that they had or these Zoom meetings. He was a part of all of it. They're mad at him because he got information to me that they said, oh, he's giving him private information. Hold on a second. If this is something about me, I'm supposed to be able to see everything. Why are y'all even discussing things that I'm not privy to? How does that work? And if Dow is a part of this, how does he get to be part of the whole thing? If this is about me and him, how has he become the judge of this thing? He became the jury of this thing, and he tried to execute the execution of me. And he had these two puppets right here. You see on the side right here, this Corey puppet and this Mir puppet. Jealousy and envy runs real deep, y'all. Oh, you fat, you lazy, you came in with a 95 Lincoln. What we jealous of? You know what? You tell me. But it's very obvious to everybody out there now. Very obvious to everybody out there now. I hope I can even get through Dow. I may have to skip his part, y'all, because like I'm not exaggerating, y'all. Every single thing that comes out of that man's mouth right now was just a flat out lie. Everything he speaks is cloaked in maliciousness. I promise you it is. And it's just sad. It's just really, really sad. Let's try to get through some of this.
I'm not sitting at the gate saying that if I was there, then I would do this and I would do this for you and I would do that for you. That ain't me. Y'all had a meeting yesterday, didn't you? A Q&A. Over what? Give it to them. We would like to know.
He did a Q&A with it was for the Offland Saints, so that Elder Britt could really pretty much corroborate, his side of the story and give a little more information. But I had a meeting with him on the deck 6th day. And this is when I got my piece, because I went and asked him questions and directly. And I asked him, I said, by your own admission, if we supposed to be the first fruits of Straitway, why our community look different from everybody else's? I said, why didn't we get a plot of land and do it that way? I said, why don't we get a plot of land now and start working on it? He said he didn't want to start over and he don't know if we would be able to do it. I said, well, we building on these little plots anyway, so why not buy a plot of land and do it there and slowly trickle everybody onto the land? Here's the problem. Y'all put us here. I said, but on the pretense of the way the community came about, this was a temporary thing. And he was like, well, at the end of the day, this is what Yah blessed.
All right, we got to go deal with that real quick. Lying Brother Vernon. Brother Vernon is pushing a narrative that the pretense of how this community got started was supposed to be temporary. I can tell y'all this unequivocally before the Most High Yah. There was never any conversation about the way we started it. First off, Straitway Georgia was already established before we moved down on the community, before we bought a little piece of land. Me and Dow searched for land. We actually had deals set up to buy like 10 acres of land. And at the last minute, they ended up, we had to back out because it didn't have what we wanted. Like it wasn't totally unrestricted. And we didn't find that out until the last minute. So we looked and tried to purchase 5 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres, different types of land. But what Yah provided for us was that 1.22 acres. And I went to Dow and told him that. And I said, to me, this sounds like what Yah is looking at. And again, if we are, and Dow had already made this proclamation that Georgia is going to be a transition community, meaning give the people time to transition in mind, like what Dowling was living. Because remember, people were talking about their what they call deplorable conditions, because people were pooping and peeing in buckets and didn't have running water and all this kind of stuff, right? He said, what we need is a community that can help people transition. If you used to living in the city, and if you used to having, running water and flushing toilets that you can flush, not having to put your poop toilet paper in a trash bag, you need time to transition in mind. So we need a place that is in the middle of that, where you can still come, work on the land, deal with small animals like chickens, things of that magnitude, but at the same time, still flush the toilet and not have to worry about it. Because where we were in Georgia, that was on the town sewer. Okay. There was never once any conversation between myself, Dow, or any other leaders that piece of land we got there was only going to be temporary, that we were supposed to continue to look for a piece of land to move. Now, here's the thing. Anybody that's in that ministry called Straitway should always be looking for land. That was just a given. Dowling got 110 acres of land now, and they just looked to buy some other land away. So we always were looking for land. And here's the thing: if it was only temporary, why was Dow okay with us going from the 1.2 we started with? Then we added that third of an acre that made it 1.5 right there. Then I start buying other plots of land. See, this is what Vernon's talking about. Why did Dow not shut that down and say, no, that's not really what we want to do. We want to get a bigger plot of land. So why would I waste time buying these small plots if the real goal is to go buy, a bigger plot and move people on it? That narrative only came up from Dow, and he put that battery in the back of Brother Vernon. And Vernon didn't lie. He did come to me and say, well, I just think we should be like all the other communities. I said, that wasn't what y'all desired for us to be. It wasn't. Because if it was, he would have set it up that way. That was my answer to him. Now, hopefully he says it in here, but I don't know if he's going to say it or not. The thing he didn't tell Dow, I'm sure he didn't. Because that same conversation we had on that 6th day, that Friday, Brother Vernon came to me and told me, because I already had warned all the brothers about what was going to happen, and then it had just happened, right? So he came to me, man, I don't even know if I want to be a part of the community no more. And I said, okay, I understand. He said, why should I want to be a part of a community again? If one man can get in his feelings, he was talking about Pastor Dow, if one man can get in his feelings and cause this kind of ruckus for all these families, why would I want to be in it? And he told me himself, he said, I think what I may want to do is move to South Carolina and be around Brother Brandon and them, because they've always had a good relationship. And he said, I could be around them. They need the help when it comes to building. And I can just have my family live off land and never have to worry about another man dictating where I am and where I'm going. And I looked at Vernon and I said, you know what? That's a good idea, because everybody that's been in the ministry know him and Brother Brandon that's over South Carolina had been pretty close. They had been, good brothers and worked together and done stuff. And Brandon and them had just started like a little business a year or two before that. So they had acquired some skills. So they had started learning some stuff, the drywalling and doing bathroom. They had started learning. So it wasn't like Vernon would have had to go there and just teach everybody afresh. They had some skill knowledge. I thought it was a good idea. And that's what I told him. I said, Brother Vernon, if it come down to this, I don't have a problem with you. I think that's a good idea. I guarantee. I don't even know what he's going to say here, but I guarantee he didn't tell Dow that. And that was a part of that same conversation. All right, let's go.
I talked about that up at the meeting too. About y'all not being able to function as a community. And you know the reason why? I'm gonna give you the answer, right? Because he's lazy as shit. He got the gift of gab. He runs his damn mouth, but he ain't gonna lift a damn finger to do nothing. And if he does, he only does it for a short period of time for show. Then I rip and run up down the road.
He actually talking about himself, y'all. He's actually talking about himself. That's literally what Dow does, y'all. That's literally what Dow does. Now, as for me ripping up and down the road, hey, I still had job. I still had income to go out and make, because the brethren wasn't making the income. They wasn't making enough in the deck business. They wasn't making enough in Judah Property Pros. They wasn't making enough. Miliano, when he came over, he did fine because Brother Marty was paying him to build those parks with him. But all those other brothers, they was not bringing in enough money. So I had to make sure the community did fine. I did. And the majority of the ripping up and down the road, that came because this devil right here started taking all the funds from Straitway, Georgia. See, when the funds was coming in the way they should, we had all the brothers. We were all on one accord. Our minds were doing fine. There's a video on Pastor Cora's that you can go see when he's driving around me. When our community bought him a SUV, him and Deacon Miguel came down, right? And that's what they were there for. You probably looking at what all they're doing is driving around in a car. That's what Pastor Cora decided to put out there. But if you listen to the conversation in that video, he's talking about how much Georgia's growing. Why? We had started getting the right brothers were there. We had plenty of brothers to do the work, right? We had the right vision. The finances were coming in because all the brothers that live off land were tithing to us like they were supposed to, giving money to the community there. And when you put all that together, and then what Elder Brent was doing, it was flowing. It was flowing. And guess what? You can go to my channel if you want. Go look at all those videos that I am in working on our land. So he's a damn liar talking about I don't do no work. Now, again, I'm being upfront and telling y'all, I don't think the day to day, if I got 7, 8 brothers and we got acre and a half here, acre here, 2 acres here, then the small acreage, the third and a half, they were all wooded. So what do you, there's no maintenance to that, nothing. Why should I be doing the day to day? Now, mind you, before those brothers all came, mind you, they didn't come until 18, 19, 20, really. Like 19 and 20 is when we really got going, right around COVID. So what happened before then? Who was cutting the grass? Who was doing all that work? Who was tilling the ground? Me. Me. Who was dealing with the chickens? My family. Again, just lies by this dude, y'all. Lies. I don't know. We're going to be able to get through this because what are we? We already 20 minutes in. And it's hard to even get off him because everything he says is just a flat out bona fide lie. But again, he's trying to program their minds to think this way. That's what he's trying to do. Let's go. Let's go.
Trading guns. Going to so-called meetings. The only meeting I got when I leave outside this community is a meeting to go and build this community up. To go
That's
get
a lie.
building materials. To speak to people about what we're going to do to make this community run and advance.
Liar.
Ain't got no meetings out there privately to go and trade guns and do all this other extracurricular activity. I'm not saying you can't trade no guns, but you make it your damn lifestyle. We got some issues and troubles and problems. But the reason why you're going to keep getting that answer because he's lazy as hell. And I'm not saying nothing to none of y'all that I haven't said to him to his face.
Liar.
And in front of all of these elders. I'm still at one string banjo, still saying the same thing. And you ain't going to advance when you got a lazy ass leader. The people are only going to go as.
Now, it's funny. You got Elder Mitchell sitting right here, right in the red. When we were in the meeting in Wisconsin, one of the things that pissed Dowell off the most, because you got Elder Mitchell, you got Mir, you got Elder Becker, Elder Brent, you got myself. We were all in that meeting. Rob was not in that meeting. This is security here, right? And one of the things that really pissed Dowell off was when he said Georgia, what he's saying right now, Georgia ain't got no growth. Elder Mitchell himself said to Pastor Dowell, he said, Pastor Dowell, I don't understand why you keep saying Georgia don't know how to build and Georgia ain't had no growth. He said, honestly, Pastor, besides Straitway, we don't have a community that has done more building. I'm talking total, not just block work, because see, Elder's a block mason now. And he said, I'm not talking about just block. I'm talking about total building, because building buildings in a home is more than just the foundation, y'all. It's more than just block. We got the majority of our buildings ain't even in block. You still got electrical, plumbing, roofs, flooring. You got all kind of other stuff, y'all. You still got to do insulation. You still got to do HVAC. You got all kind of stuff that's involved in building. And Elder Mitchell told him in the Wisconsin meeting, I'm not sure why you keep saying this. There's not a community that has done more building in Straitway. We're not talking about actual the hub of Straitway. He said there's not been a community that's done more building besides Straitway, Georgia. Because again, we didn't do the ton of block work, even though we has just started learning to do block. But when it came to framing, insulating, drywalling, ceilings, roofs, all that stuff, the Reubenites would come and they were down there fellowship with us in Georgia. They would come and do all the, when you have to put your shingles and stuff and all that on there. We do metal roof, all this stuff. Electrical, all this stuff. This is stuff you never see Dow doing. You only see Dow doing block work. Now, can he do more? Absolutely. He built furniture. He don't do it no more. Brother Scott do it. But you never see him doing electrical, framing. You never see him doing plumbing, roof work, none of that stuff. And to me, he shouldn't have to. But for him to act like Georgia is nothing because we haven't all become block masons like him and Elder Mitchell had, that's just BS. And Elder Mitchell told him in that meeting. And this man was so arrogant. He said, that's BS. And I'll bet money they can't build their own buildings. Now, mind y'all looking at the multi-purpose building we had where they wanted to have the meeting at. You're looking at Jaja's house, which was tore down uh, beyond the studs, beyond the joists. We totally rebuilt that home. Straightway didn't come and do that. Elder Becker here, Elder Becker right here, he came and helped put the electrical box in. That's it. Oh, no, that's right. He was there too when we did some plumbing. But that was Elder Becker, myself, and Elder Brent. We did that. But all the framing, the roof, all that wasn't Straightway. You know what Straightway helped us with when we did our multi-purpose building? My son-in-law came down and helped us and taught us more in 2 days. Him and Elder Mitchell in 2 days, and Dow ever taught us anything in block land. That's when we got proficient in laying block, when my son-in-law came down. But that's only 4 courses, y'all. We still had to finish the rest of the building. Nobody from Straightway came to do that. We did all that on our own. We got countless of numbers of trailers that we have totally remodeled, stripped to the bare metal and remodeled all the way up. The home that we bought across the street that I put Brother Vernon's family in, stripped it all the way down. We even moved walls that were load bearing walls, y'all. All that came from what was going on down there in Georgia, not from Straightway. So if I'm so lazy, why I got these men so motivated? Same way he got his men motivated. We got work to do. But again, what he is mad is that I didn't become what Elder Mitchell became. Like Elder Mitchell was following in his footsteps and became a block mason first. Pastor Muir, following in his footsteps, became a block mason first. I didn't have to do that because guess what? See this guy sitting right here? What's he required to do? What's he required to do? He ain't lifted so-called Elder Rob. He ain't lifted 1 block. I ain't never seen him lay a block. I ain't never seen him come out and go build at somebody else's community. What is Kabir required to do? What is Elder McGill required to do? What is Elder Donnie required to do? I got all kind of people I can name. Now, Elder Chris, he's especially when it comes to, and he can build some too, no doubt. He's especially when it comes to doing dirt work. Like he can get in the big machines. Now, most of us know how to drive the machines. We're not as good as Elder Chris. He's the best at it. So when you got a big project or clearing all that, you do that. But we've cleared plenty. With Elder Chris, he came and looked, but the majority of the trees that got cleared down there happened with the people in Georgia. We didn't have to call somebody outside. Myself and Elder Brent showed up and cleared out those trees down there in Alabama. Now, Jonathan and them got the big equipment, and they moved them and stacked them and cleaned them all up. But again, where's Straightway, y'all? This is all part of Straightway, Georgia. Remember, Straightway, Georgia used to, and see, this is where the jealousy comes in. Straightway, Georgia, Georgia East, right? Alabama, and Cleveland in Tennessee. That's the jealousy that's coming in. You understand what I'm saying? He's watching me do exactly what he's doing, but these brothers got a better spirit. You got to be out front. I am out front. I just don't have to become you. And that's the part that really offended Dow, y'all. I don't need to get in the gym, become a meathead, start taking all these pills and stuff, and have my my testosterone levels at over 800. This man is almost 60 years old with a over 800 testosterone, y'all. Oh, he need that for those wives. Y'all go do your research on that. Go do your research and see a man that's 57, 58 years old with an 800 plus testosterone level, and tell me how they get there. You understand what I'm saying? What he was jealous about and what he was mad about was that we were getting work done. Check this out. All those years before, what was the rebuke for Straightway, Georgia? We were slow building because I didn't have no brothers. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have the resources. We didn't have the men, the power to do it. We didn't have nothing. So we barely, we built a deck here and we built one little building. Like we built a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that Tim used to live in, but we started off with something else. But we had things that we could do. But again, even in that was a bunch of donated equipment that donated materials that we ended up getting from a big deck job that we did. That's why we were able to build that. But once the men came and the resources came, that's when this fool right here in the green in the middle here with the mic got jealous. He saw us doing great stuff. Then he wants to accuse me. Oh, why you calling it the Southern Assemblies? You're trying to do your own thing. No, I wasn't. The idea actually came from him calling the Canada Saints the Northern Tribes. He started that stuff. This is Straitway. Well, why was Canada called the Northern Tribes then? I got the idea from him. And when I took it to him, he didn't turn it down. He acted like he had a problem with it. But guess what? He never told me he had a problem with it. He went around and told all these other dudes he had issues with it once he got in his feelings. And this is what I'm mad about these dudes about. Because if that's the case, why wouldn't y'all call me and tell me? Why wouldn't y'all call me and tell me, say, hey, Pastor really ain't cool with that. You calling y'all the Southern tribes down there. I got tired of trying to do videos and explain that it's Georgia, Georgia East, South Carolina, Alabama, and Cleveland doing a job. The one title just said, if this is a collaborative job that all of us are doing, no, that's just the Southern Assemblies, and all of us is in the South. You said about the Northern Assembly, the Northern tribes. That's where I got it from, y'all. Wasn't trying to do my own thing. But he saw me doing what he was doing, and I was just more efficient. And I didn't have to get out there and lift all the weights and do all this stuff. Yeah, I was out there making money. I was, because the community needed it. But I also was still doing my job in Israel. See, this is why the people ain't tripping on me, because they know I put real fruit in them. Real fruit. Because the majority of these folk, he ain't built them no house. He got a couple people, he built a house there on Straitway. He got a couple people, he helped put up a building at different locations. But all this, I built so many houses. You ain't done that. Stop it. The brothers have done that. Yeah, way back in the day, in the late 90s, early 2000s, you ain't have you. And again, what a lot of folk don't know, he didn't do all that by himself, y'all. Straitway started with like 75 people on the land. He had a whole bunch of labor. Now, he went through some crap, but he had a whole bunch of labor to help him do all that work. When they put the dining hall up and all that kind of stuff, then all the wicked people left, all the work was done. That free labor, they got nothing for that. I may have to skip this because I don't even know. Look, we 30 minutes in, and I ain't even got to the testimonies. I think what y'all really want to hear is these brethren giving these false testimonies and me speaking to that. So I may move up a little bit and see where we at with that, y'all, because I don't want to keep everything he's saying is a lie.
As far as the leader goes, period.
Out there doing nothing.
All right, this brother, my bad. This is brother Herbert. Mind you, this is the oldest male we have in the ministry, and not too long before this took place, maybe 6 months, 8 months, whatever, this man had open heart surgery. His wife left him, literally left him. And what I did is I had an office, and I converted my office to give to him to have a place to stay with the saints. I was like, you don't need to be out there by yourself, brother. Come here. I'm going to give you this spot. This will be your little home, and you can stay here with the saints. But let's see what he got to say, because I may want to go back a little bit to hear what the question was to him. But let's see what Brother Herb got to say.
The leader goes, period. Y'all got Brother Herb.
We had a meeting in this house, and we talked about the same thing about him working more with us. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Oh, well, if that's what y'all want to do, if that's y'all consensus, then yeah, I'll make it my business to be out there with y'all more." So far, still haven't seen him out there doing nothing.
Now, this is sad, y'all. I'm so sorry. That meeting that he's talking about, y'all, took place like 4 days before this meeting on Sunday. Took place like on a Thursday or a Wednesday. I mean, do you see how the projection of this stuff works? He's trying to project to y'all that we had some grand meeting, and I just haven't lived up to it. Mind you, that meeting was not what he said it was. All this stuff start coming out from Dow, y'all. We're already in the midst of this ever since. Remember, we had been cut off. Nobody could come. So all these accusations had start coming out from Dow. We should have more land. He's too lazy. He ain't working. Y'all ain't doing nothing, which is just, look at what they had. Look what we got. It's sad to sit here and the man say it, and these folk look and say, no, we don't. This is crazy. When we got 6, 7 plots of land, we got multiple homes. Think about it. We don't have nothing, y'all. Think about this. He said we don't have anything in Georgia. The land that was in Dow's name was 1.5 acres. That's it. Think about this. The rest of it is in my name. So they're not utilizing that right now. If we don't have anything, how are they able to take all of those saints in Georgia and condensed them all on 1.5 acres. There was enough stuff on 1.5 acres to condense the whole community, because all the other 5+ acres nobody gets to live on because it's in my personal name. So where the big house was being built, where the multi-purpose building was, the house that Vernon was living in, all that stuff, the brothers, all that stuff is in my name. They're not using any of that. But we had nothing going on. We was doing nothing. But they were able to consume the entire community on 1.5 acres of land. But we ain't have nothing going on. This man is a false witness. Well, this man, I got to point this way, my bad. He's a false witness. Do you know why? 2 old fools, bitter, that I constantly had to rebuke. I constantly had to wipe their tails from bad decisions that they made. And I had to look these men, even though they're older than me, in their eyes many, many times and say, you think I like having to do this? I wish y'all would walk in wisdom. Just because you got great don't mean you got no wisdom. This man, Herb, is just a false witness. Why? I want to do more around here. Herb, you just had heart surgery. Then when I did give him a job, okay, Herb, we got to ride more. I'm going to let you do the ride. Guess what the brothers did? The brothers took him off of it, said he's wasting time because when he cut, now we got to go back behind him because he ain't doing a good job. He didn't accept the role that y'all had for him in the community, which was being an errand guy, watching over young boys. I got him involved in the education part of it. I said, you can run the gym part for the boys, not the girls, for the boys. All the boys complained about him. He won't listen. He's this, he's that. But again, I have to deal with this in love. But secretly, this man got issues with me because he's just an old fool. And I don't know how else to say it. I'm not trying to put him down, y'all. Like, my thing is this. Who goes to her for counsel? Who goes to him for wisdom? He's grandpa. We like him. He gives us candy if you children and stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like, bro, I got these 2 older men that I'm over. And they're some of the biggest source of the issues that we had, which honestly, I never let them become real issues. Because I look men in the face and tell them what's up. I had no problem looking Herb in the face and telling him, you got this problem. You got this issue. You're drunken. You should do this. You can't do this kind of work no more, Herb, because first off, you've never been good at it. And secondly, you got a heart condition. I had to look him in the face and tell him this stuff. Same with Brother Vernon. And it's true what Galatians 4:16 say. I have become these men's enemy because I told these brothers the truth in love. In love. Let's go. Let's see what else Herb got to say. Let's see what he got to say.
So one of the things that was stated was that his brothers didn't want him out there working. Y'all don't want him out there with y'all? Y'all don't want him out there working with y'all? That's what he told us. So with him saying that,
One of y'all say that on the mic so they can hear it because this is being recorded. Is that what y'all said?
I told him that I thought it would be good for him to be out there for the morale of the brethren, because when you're not.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do this video, y'all. It's just so many lies. I ain't going to be able to get through this video. I can't. This would be a 12-hour video. I'm trying to think in my heart and mind right now, how do I chop this thing up? We 40 minutes in. We 40 minutes in my video, and it's everything that's coming out of everybody's mouth is lies. These brothers, Vernon, Tim, Mike, brothers like that, because they were the main brothers on the land at the time back in 2018, took me off the job. See, this is another thing when they say I didn't work. I worked 2 jobs from 2011 to when the community started in 2011 up until 2018. I worked 2 jobs. These brothers told me, come off the job, elder. This is when I done shifted into a chief elder position. Israel needs you. Vernon is just lying right now. Again, what he's talking about is what he told me 4 or 5 days before that. That meeting we had inside my house. That was literally the week before. This is a Sunday. This meeting they're doing right here is on a Sunday. That meeting took place like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that week. I don't think it was Thursday. I think it was, because Thursday was the day down them announced what they announced. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday, to get it accurate. It's like Tuesday or Wednesday. The meeting that Herb and the meeting that Vernon is referring to took place less than a week before. And that's when that came out. But again, why is that coming from them now? Because Dow had been putting that out there. Anybody that's connected to the story knows this is the stuff Dow had been putting out there ever since we got back from the Wisconsin meeting, which was weeks before that. So this is why they feel this way now. But before then, no, they did not want me working. And they said that. They said it. I told Vernon every day, anytime I'm going somewhere, doing whatever I'm doing, I would tell him, if you need me, let me know. If you need extra hand, let me know. Why am I going to be there on the land, y'all, when there's 7, 8, 10 brothers working on the land? Remember, we got offland brothers that are coming to learn. Go look at my videos, y'all. If you go back and look at the videos when we were building a multi-purpose building, building the home that I'm building, any other building, go look and see how many brothers we got. Go look. See, you don't get to see the building day to day at Dow's place. Only time you do is when he want to go up there and act like he doing something. Look in between, y'all. Dow ain't doing the day to day. Mir has to do a little more. I have to say this about him. His community is up and starting. He has to do a little more. Same like I had to do in the first 7 years of running my community. Same like I had to do. But once your community is established and all of that, why would I be one of the main people out there working? What you want me to do? You want me to go up there and do it? Why? There's a skilled young man right here. That's why y'all sent him and him to do it. That's going to boo. These guys are repeating what Dow told them. Now, again, it's another thing. Not one complaint ever. See, this is why I know if I'd have been in this meeting, 95% of what was said here would have not been said. Because I'd have looked and said, okay, Elder Becker, you're right here. We'll put it here. You're right here. Pastor Dow, you right here. Elder Mitchell, all you over here. Has anyone ever complained about the living conditions, the work conditions, the money, anything, the food, anything at Straitway, Georgia to any of you leaders? Then you would have heard crickets. The only time complaints came was when Dow got in his feelings and he started putting these narratives out here about me. And because these brothers had hidden agendas and these brothers had heart pain in their heart towards me, apparently, like Vernon and Brother Herb, that's when they started believing this crap. My brothers used to tell people all the time and brag about it, that they didn't want me working. You think Dow like that? But guess what? Go ask the brothers that work at Straitway right now. Don't ask the lay brothers. Do they actually want Dow on the land working? They'll tell you no. I've talked to Brother Scott. I've talked to Brett. I've talked to JC. I've talked to Bud. I've talked to all of them. None of them want Dow working. And guess what? He don't. He don't, y'all. Dow, he does exactly what the text tells us, how these Sadducees and Pharisees, they're not going to lift a real finger to do something for you. But when it's going to broaden their phylacteries, fatten their pockets, do YouTube videos, all this kind of stuff, that's when they show up. And everything they do, they push it out front so man can see. But guess what he cloaks it with? He cloaks it with you and you fooled by it. He cloaks it by saying this. Oh, I want to be an inspiration. I want men to be motivated. I want them to see. I want them this. No. It's for vain glory's sake. It's to broaden his phylacteries. Go look and see what the text say. Go look and see. Jesus called this stuff he called it so easy. But listening to this, all that is being said on this video is these brothers repeating what Dollar's already put in them. He brought these narratives to them. This man is lazy. Y'all don't have anything here. There's no work being done here. I'm like, what? Are you serious? But guess what? Since there's no work being done, that whole community's been condensed to 1.5 acres and they're fine. How do we have enough stuff? How do we have enough living space for a whole community? Only people left was my family, remember? He touts and brags about how nobody left with him. Well, I didn't give anybody an option. I already had told them once it gets to this point, you can't call on me. I never once gave anybody an option on that community to follow me. Follow what? I ain't even started no ministry. I ain't even given an option to leave. But everybody has a place to stay on that community now. Amazing, isn't it? Let's hear some more lies, y'all. I don't know if I'm going to get to this because the video, It's like an hour and 20 minutes. We ain't even 5 minutes in the video. And I can't stop pausing because all these.
Not there. The brother and, a little bit of here, a little bit of there. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'll leave.
This is before we moved, but during one of the meetings, he said that the brothers took him off the job, meaning Brother Vernon, Brother Tim, took him off the job, didn't want him working. So that was his justification for not working. But me personally, as a young man, seeing your example, I definitely would want my leader to be out there working alongside. I definitely agree with Brother Vernon that it boosted morale. When he was working on the house one time, he was out there, like you said, for a little bit, and things did go a lot smoother, in my opinion.
But y'all hearing what I'm saying?
All right. This is Brother Isaiah, who I've been a father to the whole time him and his family been in the ministry. I'm not going to go into deep detail about how Yah's used me to be a blessing to him, his brother, his younger brother Carlisle, and his mother Tawana. Now, I understand he's speaking what's been put in his head, but I want y'all to listen to him close. Those brothers did tell me they didn't want me working on the land. That wasn't no justification. We didn't need me working day to day on the land. All big projects I was there for. But the day to day work, I was not needed. Now, mind you, Isaiah is a licensed electrician, y'all. He is what's the word, y'all? Union. I'm sorry. He's a unionized licensed electrician. He has a 9-to-5 job, y'all. He's not working on the land except on Sundays. He's not. He has a 9-to-5 job in Atlanta. And so he drives the 2 hours down every morning and back. I want y'all to bring I'm saying this not to bash Isaiah. I'm bringing context. This is not a brother that's working on the land every single day. This is a brother that was living outside of the land, but then we made him a part of the community. This is his other brother right here. This is Carlisle right here. This is his nephews right here. They live on the land with their mom and dad. This is his younger brother Carlisle. He was on the land all the time because he had school still. So he would go school half a day and then work with us half a day, or work with the brothers half a day. Let's keep it accurate. But he wasn't on the land all the time, y'all. And this is what I tell y'all to do. Go back and look at the videos. I got at least 3 or 4 videos up where I'm there working with the brothers and he's there. So he's presenting it like, well, I remember one time he didn't stay long. Really? If I didn't stay long, Isaiah, how was I able to have that much impact on the job? Y'all listen to what he said? Well, he came one time, he didn't stay long, but man, it went much smoother. How's it going to go smoother if I really wasn't there that long, Isaiah? Think about what he said, y'all. This is what happens when people get programmed. And then because you don't have to face your accuser, you'll say whatever. See, these brothers know now he's been put out to ministry. I don't ever have to face him. So now I can garner favor from man. Because if I get up and say anything positive about him, now Dow going to have me in his sights and he going to start bashing me. I'm not dogging this young brother. I get and understand what he's saying. I do. But this brother don't work on the land every day, y'all. He has a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday job. We won't talk about all the stuff that I had to do for him and his family. We won't talk about when he graduated, who gave him his first car that he didn't have to pay for. We ain't going to talk about that. We ain't going to talk about, because that don't bring about no blind loyalty. I'm not saying those things so that he could be loyal to me. No, I'm saying I've been loyal to him. I've been loyal to Carlisle. I've been loyal to Mama Tawana. What they have done is listen to the lies of Pastor Dowling. And guess what? They seeing it now, because I was so bad for 14 years. Y'all don't forget, from 2011 to 2014. You do the math. You know how to add. I was so bad running Georgia, but we never had one complaint until this situation came up. Never had one complaint. Now all of us, and the community ran fine, and it grew every year. You can go look at the videos and see the growth, y'all. Just go look at my videos. I don't have to go look at them. And then guess what? They've had it for 6 months and it's about to fold already. Vernon's been in charge. This dude right here been in charge 6 months and it's already about to fold. Let's go.
He's telling us one thing, but y'all are telling him another, and where he expect everybody to believe his rhetoric.
That's a lie.
So what he said, putting words into y'all mouth, is not even a reality. It's not even truth.
Yeah, it
And
is.
this is his speech in almost everything.
And now I got this
He
speech in
has an
everything.
alternate reality. I'm
Wow.
beginning to wonder, is there something mental going on here?
Wow.
I got another question for y'all, because like I said, he told me a lot of shit. So when he was preparing y'all for what is to come, when he got to the part where he's speaking about these pastors, what do y'all call that? How did y'all feel with that?
Listen close, y'all.
Where I took it, he was preparing us to get moved to another community, is what he was saying. That's how I took it. But like if we had the choice, if we couldn't stay there or go, but that's what I took it when he was talking about preparing us to move. That's something he just went into as he was speaking about preparing us to move. But that's what I received from it.
And that's an honest assessment from an honest brother named Emiliano. Because I was trying to prepare them not to move off that land, but I didn't know what that spirit was going to do with it. This is why I told Dow to release the tapes, and he won't, y'all. Y'all notice he talked big and bad. I think he even bring up the tapes in this video. I gotta see, but he talked big and bad, but he won't produce those tapes. See, the young brother Carlisle, Isaiah's brother, he's the one that gave the tapes to Dow. But what Dow won't tell y'all is that I gave the brothers permission to give the tapes to him. I told them, if anything here makes you uncomfortable, you think we talking about Dow behind his back, whatever, you can send it to him because I'm 100 transparent. Anything I'm saying to y'all, I would say to Dow to his face because this is what reality is. And I needed these brothers like Emiliano and Vernon and Tim. You see what I'm saying? And them young boys, because them young boys, Carlisle and Isaiah, they were taking care of their mom. When this was going down, y'all saw it went down. Who gonna answer these questions? You don't have access to me anymore. I told you weren't going to have access to me. I knew what he was going to do. That spirit driving him. I knew what it was going to do. I was trying to prepare them and get their houses prepared for this division that spirit wanted that was in doubt. That's honest what Emiliano said.
Well, my intent is to get his family off that land, and that would open up more room for y'all there on the land.
You hear that, y'all?
Like I said,
that's his intent.
When he made that decision, when he made that choice to call these men wicked, and they ain't coming down there on my land. Did he say that? Did he say that? And I'll use the law for the lawless if they come.
I sure did say that.
Said, well, look, we ain't going down there.
Good. He made the right decision.
We go down there, it's gonna be a bunch of nigga shit. It's just that's what Pastor Corey said. I said, you're right.
Because he full of nigga stuff.
I'll be the first one to start the shit.
You won't start nothing.
Tell me you ain't gonna get off and I'll kick your ass up off
I
that
bet
land.
you won't. You still haven't. I left willingly. You ain't gonna do nothing but talk a bunch of hot air.
I want an open field, man.
Now hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me stop this. Now I'm being accused by Michael Israel, right? Michael Israel accused me in the video y'all saw on Brainwaves the other day that I was the one that started all of the fight stuff with Pastor Dow. Let's go back. Let's rewind it. Let's hear it from his mouth. Let's see what Pastor Dow just said.
Tell me you ain't gonna get off and I'll kick your ass up off that land. You watch and see you gonna get off that land. I'm serious. I'm serious thinking about that. I want an open field, man.
He want a what? What we gonna do in the open field, Dow? What we gonna do in the open field?
This bullshit.
But I'm the one that started this, y'all. I started the brutish and the fighting. I am hearing it. I'm hearing it now.
I asked Pastor Rufus, I said, the one time that he was starting going into this before he was leaving for the meeting, and he was spewing all this. I asked him, I said, are you sure you want to say these things in front of the brethren because everybody ain't ready for it? And he said, well, we all men, we spiritually ready. But this is so crazy. But I said to him, I've been in a couple of ecclesiastical judgments, listening in and being judged by one. And I said, one of the things that I do know about it is the things that are said in there ain't supposed to come out of there. And I asked him, why was he doing this? And basically, to look through when the shingles start falling off my eyes it was about more so my name is being drugged through the mud and I can't deal with disrespect and you ain't gonna disrespect my wives. So that's when the shingles started falling off my eyelids and I started operating different.
Again, another lying testimony by Brother Vernon. This dude is really, really sad. I'm glad that Yah's fixed in my heart to just be able to forgive. First off, he's lying about being a part of ecclesiastical councils. He's never sat on a council to judge anyone. If he did be a part of one, it was him being on the side being judged, where he was a part of the judgment, or he sat in and saw it. Now, here's the thing. Up until this point, y'all, we haven't had an ecclesiastical council. Remember, this is what I was asking for. We never once had an ecclesiastical council. Ever. Ever. We had the meeting in Wisconsin. Then we had one meeting at Straitway where Pastor Dow added Elder McGill and Elder Rob when he wasn't supposed to, and he added Pastor Cord when he wasn't supposed to. Dow never followed the laws and the rules that were set up for ecclesiastical council, and he never allowed it. Guess why? I requested. I said, you know what? When we came from Wisconsin, and he instantly said nobody can go fellowship there. Mind you, we hadn't had one meeting, y'all. He was mad from the meeting that we had. I mean, the council. We hadn't had one council. He was mad because those elders called that meeting. And this was still following the book, y'all. When the book tells you if you got an alt, go to your brother. I did that December 9th. He rejected me December 10th. The brothers, Elder Mitchell, Elder Brent, they begged me, said, look, go back to him again. Go back. I said, I'm not. I'm following the book. See, I know what the book say. The book don't tell me if he rejects me one, go back to him again. It don't. It says take 2 or 3. You take more with you this time for witnesses. And I told them, I'm not talking to Dollar about this again until I got brothers with me. And I had only people I talked to about it was Elder Mitchell and Elder Brent. And then Elder Becker came in at the end right before we was going up there to Wisconsin. They thought, meaning the elders, it would be good for us to sit down before going before the people, meaning the other leaders. That was the second step that the book tells you, bring more. Dow got up and walked out of that meeting. Why? Because myself and all them elders, even Elder Mitchell, who like in this, he appears to be turning, but I get it. I know what I'm not going to speak on what Elder Mitchell got going on. Let's forget that part. Let's just move past that. But at the end of the day, Mitchell, Brent, Becker, all them saw the lies that Dow was telling in Wisconsin. He got so frustrated, he got him walked up out the meeting while he privately recorded that meeting. And then he started sharing it with all these different people. So now you got Brother Vernon, who's mad because he did make that statement to me, y'all, about, do you think you should share this information? Mind you, the one time he did that was the meeting before I even went to Wisconsin for the leadership meeting. It was the first. This is why I want y'all to hear the tapes, y'all. This was the first meeting I had with them the day before I left to go to Wisconsin for the leadership meeting. And because Carlisle and Isaiah was there and they were young, and Malik and all them, he was saying, do you think everybody should hear this? I said, yeah, because they're young men. It's going to affect them. And I knew Carlisle and Isaiah, they were going to have to go back and explain this to their mom when it went down. She was going to have them. She was going to be asking them questions. She wasn't going to have access to me. So, yes, I felt like, and I still don't regret that decision, that leaving these young men, we're talking about 15, 16, 17, 20, 21-year-old men, y'all, that was about to be affected by what was going on. He didn't like the fact that I still wanted them in that meeting. He thought they shouldn't be there. But now he's presenting it like I did this after we had an ecclesiastical council. No, I didn't. There had been no ecclesiastical council, so I wasn't sharing ecclesiastical council information. This dude, we're an hour in, y'all, and this, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this video because it's so much lies. I don't even know how to do it. I mean, I don't even know how to do this. I really don't, because it's just everything that's being said is just a flat out lie. But I understand why they're lying, because the battery's been put in their back by this dude Dow.
What Pastor Muir said, projected fears. Y'all got any more? Y'all have any more questions? Okay. Yep. But do y'all have any questions? Anyone? All right. So going forward, what we're going to have to do is, because I mean, it's obvious that headquarters are going to have to spend some money to get things done, but he's got 30 days to get off there.
Hold on a second. That's a good one there. Because Michael Israel himself kept saying that I left the ministry. What did I just say there, y'all? See, my family was still living in that little 1.5 acres of land, the original, and we were still living in the original trailer and all that. We're still living in that, y'all. See, when we bought the house across the street, a house, we bought not a trailer, an actual house, and we put almost $9,000 in that house, totally remodeling it. Guess who I moved in it, Brother Vernon? I moved Brother Vernon family into it. That's what I did. Move Brother Vernon's family into it. Man, I can't keep stopping. Let's go.
It stands right now across that street right there, on that land right there.
But I do need to say this. I forgot. Michael Israel, you get a chance to watch this video. Dow just told me I had 30 days. Quit telling people I left the ministry. I got kicked off the ministry, which is fine. I ain't tripping. I didn't leave. I was put out. And all you wicked leaders supported that being put out, even though there was nothing I did to justify being put out of the ministry, being cut off from fellowship, and being denied the right to go before the saints, like the book says. Well, see, that's step 3, y'all. That's step 3. He wasn't having step 3 because he knew he would be exposed in step 3. If I would have been there at that meeting right there, y'all looking at, I promise you, I probably would have ended up scrapping one of these fools. But because they stupid that way is why I'm saying it. But all these testimonies, I promise you they wouldn't have been saying that stuff because I would have been there to rebut it or rebut it. They wouldn't have. Isaiah wouldn't have said nothing. Emiliano would have testified because here's what's honest. Vernon would have said a third of what he said. Herb wouldn't have said nothing. And then I know DeRusha, he got his line but up talking. That's sad. I don't even know if we're going to get to that. Let's go.
How we're going to roll with this. Once he gets out of that place, the people that are down, some of the people that are down there can actually move into that place, a family or whatever. Are you following? My suggestion is that until we determine what we're going to do is put up a fence. Put a gate where y'all actually go in, and put up no trespassing signs, so that way there will be no trespassing going on. Now, because I personally think that even just being down there, because you have to understand, y'all have a soul tie with him. He's been y'all leader for all these years. And this is going to be something rough for y'all to have to deal with. You got to see him coming and going and coming and going. If you understand, they have to see you coming and going. But after that 30 days, I don't even want him, he better not even touch a blade of grass on that side. I want to know if he personally decides that he's going to be presumptuous and step foot on that land after 30 days. I want to know personally myself.
You ain't gonna do nothing but call the law. You ain't gonna do nothing down.
So y'all can still function down there right there. But
for the record, I did them a solid. I didn't make them have to worry about the soul ties and all of that. Me and my family were gone in 14 days. Now, mind you, I got a house across the street. I got the multi-purpose building. I got a house being built down the street. I got the land around the corner that's still in my name with the brothers' barracks. I got many, many options, y'all, right there. I didn't want those saints nor my family to have to endure it. So I took my family and I moved away. That's what I did. And before we even get to the money thing, I'll tell all of y'all this. We had $7,000 at that time. Vernon called me, asking me about the money, and I said, you know what? You can have it if you take the bills too. Because at that time, we had about $12,000 in bills. You know, stuff not coming in that we had to take care of. So you can have the money, take care of the bills too. And he passed on taking that $7,000. And guess what? I took the $7,000 plus money that I had already generated, right, on my own. Nothing is Straitway game because they didn't give me nothing, which I'm cool with. And I still paid it. And guess what? I didn't leave them with no bills. So when Dow said I left people with bills, he's a liar. Think about this, y'all. He said I left people with taxes and child support. How do I control a man's taxes and a man's child support? How do I do that? How do I do that? When you go out and generate the money, you take it out your check and pay it. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. And I'm still gonna keep my word to my brothers. Because so far, I'm the only one that have kept my word through all of this. The things I told Tim I would do and Vernon I would do, and the things I told Mike I would do, I'm the only one that's still done it. We're going to see. Let's go.
Getting ready to open up a home down in Straitway, Georgia. I got a home down there. It's got 3 bedrooms. It's a double wide trailer with 3 bedrooms, and it also has a nice camper trailer that Robert and Deidre's living in because they're living in the other spot that he built up.
Now, mind you, check this out, y'all. I'm glad y'all heard that. Let me show you what kind of man Dial is. I was involved in this, and if you think I'm lying, you can call Mom Muncie and ask her. When Mom Muncie, he talking about Georgia East, not Georgia, y'all. Right now, this 3 bedroom, 2 bath, double wide trailer. This is the home that Al, Mom Muncie's son, used to live in with his family. When he left the ministry, a little bit later, Mom Muncie came to myself and Pastor Dow, and she said, she owned all that land. We didn't know it. Al was telling us he did, but she actually owned it all. It was 10 acres, but 5 of it was hers. She had 4.8 acres, which is what is called Straitway, Georgia East now, that she said, I've always intended this to be land for the saints. I always wanted this to be land for the saints. She said it over and over and over again. She signed that land over to Pastor Dow. Pastor Dow instantly took that land, went out here, and I ain't even going to get into how he got that third wife of his named Sister Summer. But he gave that to her, and he used that land for like a getaway spot for him and his family to go to. But it was literally Summer's home because that's how he presented it to her parents. That's why some of y'all don't know this. When her parents would come, they would go down there and meet them there. And then he loaded the house up with new furniture, everything, spent all kind of money on that house for Summer. Mom Muncie said that land was supposed to be for the saints. Now, mind you, he's got brother Robert living there on the land. Robert's living in a travel trailer. Robert had to take one of the storage units that Al put there, like the metal storage units, and convert it to livable space for him and his wife to have somewhere to stay and come out of that travel trailer. That's what he had to do when that whole big house was there, and Downer will go to it 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 times a year. This is the kind of man we're dealing with. Now, mind you, I was there when Mom Muncie said, I always intended for this land, this 4.8 acres of land, not the land that Mom Muncie lived on, the other land that Al lived on. I've always intended for this land to be for the saints. Go look and see how many years that land was never used for the saints. And then he does put Robert down there, but he makes him live in this travel trailer and then makes him convert a shed into livable space for him and his wife. Does he have saints in and out? Yeah. He got a sister there. This is a really even sadder story. He got a sister there that came from the North Carolina community. And I won't talk about why that sister had to leave North Carolina and come this way. I won't even mention it. More BS from Dow. I'm not going to go into that story, though, right now. There'll be a time and a place for it. But that sister with her 2 children was moved to Straitway, Cleveland with Elder Brent. Now, if y'all want to vouch this story, go ask Elder Brent. But she was moved there. And when all this went down, that sister was confused. She didn't know what to believe. She didn't know what to believe. She knew she wasn't going back to North Carolina. That was not an option for her. Mind you, her husband died. They had a home that had a whole bunch of equity in it, over like $250,000 of equity in it. That sister has that check. You know how it is when you move on communities. You're supposed to give all, right? Elder Brent was wise. He told that sister, keep it. Hold on to it for a minute. He never took a dime from that sister. Never took a dime. I want y'all to ask Dow where that money is now, because guess what he did? That sister, let me go back to this part. That sister told Elder Brent, when all this was going down, she said, I got a brother that has land. I'm going to go stay with him for a while, clear my mind, and see what I need to do, blah, 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 blah. But then she asked him, she said, what should I do? Because she tried to get the money to Elder Brent because she was part of his community. He said, no, keep it. You keep it. And so then the sister asked Elder Brent, she said, should I give this money to Pastor Dow? Elder Brent asked her a couple questions to give her answer. He said, when your husband was dying, did Pastor Dow give you a call at all? No, he didn't. When your husband died, did Pastor Dow come to the funeral? Did he send you a message? Did he say anything? Did he come do the eulogy? She said, no, he didn't. I never heard from Pastor Dow while he was dying and when he died. And the elder looked there and said, you got your answer. That same sister now has been moved to what he called Georgia East, this 3-bedroom, 2-bath house trailer he talking about. She lives in there with her children. She lives in that house now with her children. I want y'all to ask Dow, did he get that 200,000 or does she still have it? Because I think he told her to go buy a truck. When all this went down, he said, sister, go buy you a truck. Now, mind you, the sister already had a truck that she had left in North Carolina. She could have just went and got her truck back. North Carolina didn't have to have it. Brother Gideon and them didn't need that truck. I'm sure they appreciated you, but they didn't have to have it. She could have just went and got her truck. He tells her to take part of that money and go buy her a new truck. She does. I don't think it was brand new, but she didn't spend more than $50,000 on the truck. I know that. So she had at least $200,000 left. Ask Dow where that money is. I want to know. Because if he's halfway righteous, that sister will still have her money and still living there. I guarantee Dow took that money. I want to hear it. Some of y'all go ask Dow, where's that sister's money? They're living at Straitway, Georgia East. Did you collect her $200,000 too? I got so much stuff that, man, y'all gonna see. It's all gonna come out in time. This man's trying to paint a picture to y'all that I'm a swindler, that I'm a crook. Oh boy, I can't wait. I can't wait to put this stuff out. Let's go.
So we do have some places prepared and stuff. Open in Goshen and stuff. They have a couple of nice places and stuff, out of which they're moving at breakneck speed as well.
No, they're not.
Families are moving into literal homes to live in.
All they done is move a bunch of trailers on there. They ain't built nothing. Stop lying.
That's why I said there's no longer no Straitway, Georgia.
See, he said that on the internet.
I told y'all, Mother's House.
Dow said that.
Mother's House gives a little bit of money every month.
Here come another lie.
How much she gets back?
Here comes another lie.
I'm gonna tell you what she told me. Y'all know how much she gets back?
Listen close, y'all. I want y'all to listen close.
But you know how much
Not
she
true.
gets back every month? 0.
All right. Now, I want y'all to hear how he set this up and lied. For one, Mother Jaja has lived down there in Straitway, Georgia for years, and I never once asked Mother Jaja for a dime, even though we were paying all the utilities and everything at that home, and we did all that remodel and all that stuff. I think the only thing she ever was paying for was like her internet or something like that. Mother Jaja has multiple streams of money coming in. I'm not saying it's a lot. I don't know because I never asked her. I know she does, though, because I see the stuff she does. Anytime she had something going with her car, I took care of it. Anything she ever needed, I made sure she got it. If I didn't take care of it, I made sure one of the brothers did it, or one of the young brothers when it comes to their gardens, anything like that. I never asked Jaja for a dime. If you think I'm lying, go ask her. Go ask her. Jaja came to me and said, I got this little bit of money that I get here. And it was like $1,600, y'all. And she said, I want to be able to give that to y'all to help because I see the building that's going on. I want to be able to give it. I'm like, cool. We got the same credit union that we at. So she did an automatic transfer of about $1,600 a month, right? Mind you, Jaja's on the community. Everybody else on the community is giving all. I never required that of her. Everybody else that lives in that community takes everything they get and gives it to the pot. My family, Vernon's family, everybody. Anybody got something coming in. I never once required that of Jaja. If you think I'm lying, go ask her. She came to me saying she wanted to give because she saw what was going on and she wanted to be a contributor to it. I took it in for a few months. Then one of her benefits, and I don't even remember which one it was, I'm being honest, I don't remember, got cut. Like they cut her benefit like $200. And I went to Jaja and I said, I heard something happened. You little loan money, got cut right here. That ain't nothing. Don't worry about that. I said, no, I want to replace that. Will you at least let me replace that? And she said, okay. And she told me the total amount it was. And guess what? Every month when she was sending her money, I would send that portion of it back to her to cover that part. That's how she wanted it. There was never a time where Jaja wanted, needed, desired for anything on that community. Now, since he want to bring her up, go ask her, y'all. I want y'all to put these saints on blast for this stuff. Because Jaja was the one that told Pastor Dow the day that this all went down and he put Vernon over that community, she went to him in his face and told him, you just put me under a wicked ruler. She never called me a wicked ruler. She never did. She never thought she was being taken advantage of until Dow tried to tell her that dumb stuff. You give him 2,000? No, you're not giving $2,000. It was 1,500. Then I think it went up to 16, or I can't remember. It was one or the other. It was like 16 something. Then it went to 15, or 15 and went to 16. It was never $2,000. And in the end, I started giving her part of that back to cover some of this other benefits she was getting, and went down. Zaja never desired or wanted for anything. Everything she ever needed was taken care of by myself or one of the brothers there in that community. If the AC went down, we took care of it. Car had issues, needed oil change, need some brake work done. We took care of all of that. She didn't pay for that. She was still a part of the community. So now what he's trying to do is paint me like I'm taking advantage of the elderly folk. Mind you, this is sad. When I told Pastor Dow that I want to bring Herb to the community because his wife left him, the first question he asked me, how much money he make? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't ask. You need to find that out first. He said, what I know about old people, they not going to get much done. You ain't finna get nothing out of them. They're going to sit around all day and do nothing. So at least they can hold their own by putting money into the pot. That's what Dow said to me. And I looked at that and I'm like, I don't care if her, in my mind, I said, I don't care if her making $2. I'm gonna move my brother on the damn community. His wife done left him and moved back east. I'll move my brother with us. I'm not gonna leave him in just some apartment. He's 66 or 65 years old. I ain't gonna do that. And Herb knows for a fact that's exactly what I did. And even when Herb gives, because I don't know if he gonna bring up his giving. When Herb gave, he will give so much, but what he probably won't talk about is how much of that, how much had to go back, or had to keep to pay his bills, because he had debts and he had credit card bills and all that. And I said, brother, I'm gonna let you pay those off. So you take, I know you make this amount, pay your bills, and then give the rest to the community. That's what I told him. Guess what? That's what everybody else do. Tim with his child support and taxes, that's what he do. Take that out, and then the rest goes to the community. Anybody that's ever had a bill, that's how it always worked. That's how a community runs. Ain't nobody taking advantage of nobody. He's sitting here acting like I'm just swindling money from saints. Everybody gives. What about all the money you get for these people? I guarantee you, Dow gets a boatload. I would love to know what Mama Lily gets. I would love to know. I would love to know. Because I guarantee this, if she don't make a dime, I don't think Dow would have moved her on that land. I don't. That ain't who he is. If he can't see where you can benefit from it, he ain't touching it. Same thing he said when it comes to Brother Vince, y'all. That's why he told me to move Vince on the land. I mean, move Vince on the community before moving to one of them on the community. He said, I know for a fact Vince is getting 100% disability. He got at least $4,000 coming in. Then he said, ain't you paying Vince to be on your debt crew? I said, yeah. He said, now you don't have to pay him. He's part of the community. You don't have to pay him, and then he can give his money. He got to pay his little bills and stuff there where he's going to be at an apartment, but the rest of that goes to the community. Everybody wins. I said, okay. And I followed his instruction. I moved Vince on the land first. And then he said, once he's there and settled, move to one of them. That's what I did. This lying dog come back and say, I don't remember that conversation. Forget that Elder Becker was sitting right there. A lot of other people were sitting there. We were just, it wasn't even a private conversation, y'all. We were having a conversation out right at the leadership table. But is it in my character? Show me another time with all the people that came through Georgia that I added somebody to the community without them knowing about it and even getting their approval first. Man, this dude is sick, y'all. I'm telling y'all, he's diabolically sick, and y'all gonna need to see it. This may have to be a 5-hour video.
That comes straight from her mouth. Zero. And I heard people got butthurt when I said, damn, that ain't the way it works here. Brother Vic, you in here? Brother Victor, you
Here we go.
Off land? Give him the phone. I want to show y'all the way Straitway really works, rather than being told the way that it works.
This is fun to hear.
Yes, sir.
How long you been working off the land when you went back on the job? How long have you been working off the land?
The job I'm at now, I've been working there since 2019, 2020. Before that, I stopped working a year because you told me to stop working. Hallelujah. I was working a job maybe about a year. So altogether, maybe about 5 years with a year break in between.
Okay. All right. So you just gave me an offering yesterday, or a couple of days ago.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Your whole paycheck.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Did you get any back?
No, sir.
No, you didn't. Now, the next pay that you get, because you get paid every 2 weeks.
Every week.
You get paid every week?
Every week.
Okay, every week. So what do you do with the money? How do you usually give offerings?
Y'all need to understand that part right there. This is the funny part. Y'all need to understand that. Y'all need to understand that part. Dow thinks this man gets paid every 2 weeks because that's when he getting money from him every other week. He getting money from Victor. He don't even realize Victor keeping his full check and he getting paid every week. He don't. Now, y'all look. So I don't have to just keep going through all this. I think most of y'all have already seen this part right here, and it's already been exposed. Y'all know Victor, his wife Jordan, and their children have already left Straitway. From doing this, from the few months after, they end up leaving Straitway. Dow ain't talking about that though. Now he's using him. He's trying to use him as an example of what Straitway does right now. And guess what? If you're building a 13,000 square foot mansion, you know it's going to be real hard for you if you're not giving these people money and letting them have some money. When you building a 13,000 square foot mansion, you driving around $120,000 trucks and $100,000 cars, putting $7,000 sound systems in your vehicles. Oh, I'm not like quoting. Dow told me that. That brand new Chrysler, that one of the rare ones, was only 200 made total or whatever that he bought. That had a sticker price of about $80,000. He put some $10,000 rims on that thing. It may have been more than that, y'all. Tires and rims, it might have been more than that. And he told me the sound system in there, he paid $7,000 for. How you gonna do that and not let these people have some money? So Straitway has changed recently because you got all this money now. But before that, and see, what exposed it all was when all them other communities start saying what their people are getting. Don't let Muirfield y'all fool y'all. Them brothers do got cards, but they don't get to just freely go spend, y'all. Let them spend crazy, and Muir gonna be all on their tail. They get a certain amount to spend a month. I promise you, they do. The card just make it easy, and then Muir don't have to pass the money out. That's all. Don't be fooled. Y'all heard what Elder Kabir said. These other communities were running like this. Matter of fact, when it all panned out, everybody saw that Georgia was actually still getting more money than all these other communities. Because the one thing they won't tell you about in Georgia is that all the brothers that had a job, if they ever needed anything, they knew they could automatically just take it out of their check before even turning in their offer. Just go get it. You ain't got to ask me. Go get it, turn in a receipt so that I can prove where the money went. That's it. Just in case books get called. Just in case Dow didn't want to come and say, let me see your books. That's all. But they all know they had the free right. In any check they got, just go get whatever you need and then turn in the rest. Another thing, I think this does come up in this too. Vernon starts talking about the money and stuff. Say, hey, every now and then he'd double and give us $100 instead of 50. Guess why? Guess when I would do that, y'all. It was standard operating procedure. Anytime they brought in money, I would give them double. So if Dexports and Moore went out and made a $5,000-$6,000 check, guess what? They got $100 that week. So he's admitting, right, it happened periodically because you wasn't making no money. See, even wicked Randy exposed him on that because he thought about that. He said, man, this man just talked about he's been around since 2018. He's had that business for 5 years, and he talking about he put $250,000 in Elder Rufus's hand. Y'all do the math, y'all. 250,000 divided by 5 is what? Vernon admitted to y'all that he only been given about $50,000 a year for the business on average. Now, mind you, that's what 250 divided by 5. That's what it breaks down to. It wasn't no 250 in a year. That's what the dude's doing up there with Kabir robbing. They making that kind of money. Dexports and More never made that kind of money, ever. Because I want them to be free. I didn't hinder them from going out and getting other jobs. That's just all they could produce. It's just a fact. Now, mind you, that $50,000 a year, there's 3 brothers working on that crew, y'all. That's not just Vernon generating $50,000. That's Vernon. That's Tim. That's Vernon. That's James. When James was with us, he's in Alabama now, and that was Mike. So you talk about a man with 2 wives and 4 children with Brother Vernon, $50,000. You talk about a man, James, with a wife and 5 children, and Mike. All those people, $50,000 going to take care of them, y'all, for a year. That's what they were producing. And you wonder why I had to go out and generate funds. You wonder why. But I'm the bad guy. I never tripped because I was my brother's keeper. And guess what? What was more important to me? Not about what the money that the businesses were bringing in. It was more important to me that we could take pressure off of Straitway and we would be the community, because we knew how to build, that we would go to Indiana, that we would go to Kentucky, that we would go to Brother Rasan's place, that we would go to Bama. We would go wherever is needed to help people build, so Straitway didn't have to, so they could focus on theirs. But I'm doing my own thing. I'm trying to be a help to Straitway. And I told those brothers that. I said, I'm not trying to be the number one deck business in freaking Georgia. But I never once told them turn a job down. Whatever jobs you can generate, let's generate. But I want us to have time to still be able to go out and serve the saints. That's what the whole thing was. And that's why it worked. That's why it worked. Until this dog got involved. Man, I tell you. Woo. Let's go.
One week I get paid.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard this.
Following week I get paid, I keep that check.
All right. Bro, Ray, we're just going to throw some numbers. If you get paid $600 in a week, how much do I, on average, usually give you back?
This Brother Ray, y'all. This Brother Ray.
Like if I give you the whole amount?
If you give me the whole amount and then I take some out of it and I give you the rest, on average, how much do you get back?
Yeah, I always give you the whole amount and you count it and you give back. Like if I give you 500, you'll give me back 380. So you take 120, something like that. 140 to 120.
Y'all hear that? I take between $120 and $140 pretty much out of each one of his checks to give him the majority, all the rest of it back.
Correct.
And guess what? He should. If you're going to drive around and you got multiple $100,000 vehicles that you drive around in, trucks, everything is loaded out to y'all. Leather loaded. Everything's got the top of the line rims. He's putting $20,000 lift kits on this stuff. Like I said, $7,000. You better. But for the records, y'all, that Brother Ray, now he used 2 people in that community. They both gone now. Why has he not done a video now talking about that? He has. He called them weak. He said they never added anything to him. They weren't doing anything. No, he's butthurt because these men understood that they were under oppression and they were man enough. They had to go home. They just say, I'm out. And I'm going to tell y'all this story and then we're going to move forward. He really did Ray bad. Really did him bad. Ray had saved $5,000. Saved $5,000 and told Dow, I want a rifle. I want a sniper rifle, right? This all came up. Dow says, well, I can't let you take that rifle off the land. You being a foreigner, da. He said, okay, that's fine. Just give me my savings back. Give my money back. Dow says, well, the scope that goes on the rifle, it's worth $1,000. You can take the scope. Now that other $4,000, I will give it to you if you sign this affidavit saying that I'm giving you this money to help you leave this community. Now, Dow touts all the time about if people are going to leave, do it the right way. Ray was a man and went to Dow and told him, I just don't agree with your doctrine and the things you're doing. I'm leaving. He did. He said, I'm leaving. He did it the right way. Dow tried to get this man to sign a false affidavit, getting him testifying that Dow gave him $4,000 to lead the community to help him out, when all Dow was doing was giving the man back the money that was already his. Do you know Dow kept the $4,000 and the rifle, y'all? Because Ray is a man of principles. Ray ain't buying that. Ray said, hell no, I'm not signing no false document. You done lost your mind. He said, well, you ain't getting the money. And he let that man leave that community with his wife and his small children with less than $400 total in his pocket in a U-Haul truck. Didn't provide no extra cash. Now, mind you, this man done packed up his family and moved over here from Sweden. When he came from Sweden, asked Dow how much money he put in his hands. Ask him. Ask Dow how much money Ray put in his hands when he came here. He came with a bag for Dow. And when this man decided to leave, Dow tried to trick this man so he could trick y'all into signing an affidavit saying that he helped him lead the community. And then he had the audacity to brag about it. You people that deal with this stuff, you deserve what you get. I've been reading a lot and I've been studying a lot. And the thing that's ringing in my heart and my mind is what's been said in Proverbs, man, in 29:12. When you got a leader or ruler that hearkens to lies like Dow does, every servant under him is wicked. Now, don't get mad at me. Don't say Pastor Rufus called me wicked. The Bible called you wicked. The Psalms called you wicked. And you know who wrote those. I mean, the Proverbs call you wicked. You know who wrote it. Proverbs 29:12. It says when a man that's a leader, a man that is a ruler, that's the word that actually used in the King James, I believe, ruler, hearkens to lies. Who can tell me Dial ain't hearken to lies? Look at the lie sitting right next to him right here, called Pastor Mir. When he hearkens to lies, every servant under him is wicked. So all of you that support this man, y'all wicked. That's what the book say. Now, if you think I'm lying, go talk to Victor. Go talk to Brother Ray. If you think I just made these stories up, go talk to him. This is how this man treated them when they left. Didn't give them nothing. After all the years, you heard these men saying they're giving a whole paycheck to this man for years. He gave them nothing and didn't care what happened with them. Didn't care about their children, didn't care about the wives, nothing. Then he wants to lambaste them. But this is the guy you want to follow? Do your thing. Do your thing. Let's go.
Y'all hearing this? This is the way Straitway operates. Y'all hear me?
I'm the face of the deck building business for Georgia. And Vincent can corroborate this. We're about to finish a job tomorrow. But in the last 3 days, I put $6,000 in this man's hands.
That's true.
And we got $50.
Put this up there.
We got
You
$50 last week. And then I guess
$100 the next.
Morale, we got $100 this week.
That's true, y'all.
But
that's 100% true.
Tomorrow, I'm finna get about another $3,500. Chef, I'm keeping that money, and I'm gonna do with it.
I expect y'all to.
What you do, I'm gonna do what you tell me to do with it.
Keep it. You right now. Right now, y'all just keep the money because we got a lot of moving around we're gonna need to be doing. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Listen, we don't sit up here and talk about Straitway Georgia brothers. We too busy. We working. See, when you sitting on your ass ain't doing nothing, you got a lot to say, but we ain't got too much damn to say because we too busy working.
I'm the only one left on his land. Mm-hmm. So it'll probably be most likely me moving into me and my family. That'll be fine. Because Miliano where he is, Tim is where he at. They are on the land already. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? He's telling y'all the land that's Dow's, the original acre and a half that we bought, 1.2, then we added the 0.33. He's already telling you all of them already living on that land. I thought we had nothing, y'all. How was half the damn community already on the land? He said, I'm the only one not living on that land right now. But we got nothing, y'all. Straitway got nothing. Straitway, Georgia had nothing. I need y'all to listen close, man. I know this is probably painstaking for a lot of y'all, and you're probably not going to listen to most of this, but some of you care. And details matter, especially when you having a cloak of maliciousness pulled over your eyes by a devil. And I can say that, by a devil. This man is not who I met in 2011. He has changed. And the brothers have pegged it properly. They said he's dealing with PMS. He's dealing with power. He's dealing with money. And he's dealing with sex. This is, matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all who pegged that. That was Elder Mitchell. Now, he didn't do the PMS thing, but he was the one that told myself, Elder Brandon, and others that he's seen a major change in Pastor Dow for the worst, right? For the worst. When he started to get women, because that's the first thing that he got. And he can't really handle them. He think he can, but he can't. When he started to get money, which started coming right around the time the football brothers, all of them, the military. It was a lot more than that. People think it's just the football people bring them. No, it's money started coming into the ministry then too. Because there's a lot of people that didn't play football. They gave a whole bunch of money, probably more than the football players gave. And then he said he noticed another big change when the NFL guys came and when the military guys came. Those four things Elder Mitchell pointed out to us. And he had it in his heart to bring it up at the leadership meeting. He literally wanted to bring that up at the leadership meeting. Never got a chance to do it. Power, money, and sex has ruined Pastor Dow. He ain't the same. And for some of y'all to sit here and think that he is still the same man, you just blind in one eye and can't see out the other. Let's go.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I expect for all y'all to keep all your pay until otherwise.
Also, with that said, I'm driving the Ram that Robert has. That's what I'm using now because the one they gave me, the old Ford, needs a training and really needs a new engine because it's leaking oil crazy. I'm putting about a gallon of oil in it.
You messed it up. It wasn't doing that when you got it.
What happened to the dually that Elder Crago purchased?
That's what I'm saying. I'm driving that Ram, the one that Robert had. My suggestion is, I'm going to say to him is to buy that from him.
You don't need to buy nothing because it was given.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Now, y'all hear that, the hypocrisy of that? It wasn't given to the community. It was given to me. This Dodge Ram, this 2020 Dodge Ram truck they talking about. This is a truck that I actually tried to give away because I knew Dow would do something like this down the road. I literally told Elder Brent I'm not going to receive it. I told Elder Brent give it to Straitway. I told Elder Brent, hey, ask Brother Jonathan, y'all. I actually had said give it to Brother Jonathan. I think he's more worthy of it because he's the guy that's going around visiting all these communities now because of the knowledge he had in building. I wanted to give the truck to Brother Jonathan. I said, you know what? You take the 2020, give us your 2004, 5, 6, whatever it was, and we'll put the deck crew in that truck, and you can keep this. But guess what? Y'all knew what was up. Y'all knew what was up. He kept making Brother Jonathan's truck break down so that he could never trade it to me. And then all this came out, and it just wasn't no option for him then. But this fool Dow literally is saying, you ain't got to this. This man gave the truck to me. Elder Brand has already testified to that. The truck, Dow was the one that told me never let Vernon drive the truck ever. Why? This truck that Vernon got, this front Ram, the Ford that he's talking about, that's needed an engine, all that. That's because of Vernon. That man we had to replace the whole rear end of that truck because of him. The whole rear end. I'm not talking about just the mechanic. I'm talking about the bed, everything, y'all. He got pallets of supplies flying off the back of this truck because he ain't done his job properly. You know how many vehicles Vernon done wrecked and tore up, y'all, since he's been to Georgia since 2015? And that dude sitting next to him. These two dudes right here, be careful driving with them. Be careful riding with them. This one is really bad, Darusha. He is horrible as well. Dow told me when Brett gives you that truck, he's giving it to you. You're going to need it. I'm like, whatever. They literally forced me to take the truck. And the truck's in my name. But he's saying, oh, you don't got to do nothing. The truck was a gift. You keep it. Like he gets to decide that. Think about that, y'all. The audacity. And Vernon wanted this truck so bad, y'all. He wanted, because again, he ain't never had nothing like that. He wanted this truck so bad. When I got back in town from Texas, the first thing I did is went and sold it. I sure did. I was like, he ain't never going to see this truck again. I don't even care. Somebody could have gave me $10 for that truck. I probably would have sold it that day. I would have. But I made sure when he got it, I got back, I got them keys from his tail. I took that truck and I sold it that day to make sure he never see it again. Dow, you love him so much, you go buy him a truck. Give him your $100,000 truck to drive around in. Damn it. He's such, y'all, this is so sad. Just so much. Listen to this man saying. It was a gift. You keep it. We ain't got to buy it. It was a gift to me. Elder Brent gave it to me. And then they complaining because I left them 7 vehicles there. All paid off. Gave them titles to everything left to say. They're complaining about that. He took all the good stuff. It was in my name. I'm supposed to leave y'all vehicles that are in my name, that were what I was using them for, ministry use. I'm supposed to see his whole goal. He would have loved if I just left with nothing. Even though I gave the Georgia Saints everything, I didn't take nothing but my personal items, y'all. Nothing. No food storage. no materials, no supplies, no gold, silver. I left the safe. I left it all, y'all. I left everything. All of the food stores that we accumulated through the years, everything that was in the storages, the trailers, all the trailers, gave them all of that. We had 3 trailers, dump trailer, all this stuff to work with. Gave them all of that. Didn't take anything that was intended for the community, stayed for the community. You ain't gonna hear him talk about that. Lying pigs.
Yes, sir. Because I don't have anything that's conducive for what I do. You know, he's offered.
Look at him begging. Look at him begging.
Which is a 2-wheel drive, and I really can't use it to do any work. So I would like to keep the Ram.
You need to keep the Ram for the damn business.
Like you get to decide
Yeah,
that,
whose name is it
dumbasses.
in?
Mine, dummy. In my name,
I know
dumbass.
Elder
Nah.
Crago purchased the thing because
In
he
my
was
name.
paying off the debt. Because Elder Crago's got a heart big as Texas.
So do I,
And I told Elder
dumbass.
Crago straight up, I said, that man using you.
No, he didn't. He
He is
lying there,
literally
y'all.
using
He
you.
lying. That's another. That's why I know we can't get through this dang video, y'all. Elder Crago was short. He's lying. He never once told Elder Crago he was using me. The only thing he said to Elder Crago to try to control the money, he was mad because Elder Crago was putting money into the community down there. He was taking our visions to the next level. If we had an 1,800 square foot building, he said make it 2,400 square foot. It was stuff like that. If we were talking about putting window units and window AC units in the window, he said, no, let's do a full HVAC system. Elder Crago can testify to all of this. Dow never once told him I'm using him. What Dow tried to do when he was trying to divert all the money from me, because he didn't like how, quote unquote, and this is their word, successful Straitway, Georgia was. He didn't like the fact that Elder Crago was putting a lot of money into that building. Into the communities down there. He didn't like the fact that the brethren that lived around were being faithful in their giving and in their time and serving in us building. He didn't like the fact we were growing, y'all. He felt threatened by that stuff. He did. And especially when I'm growing, but I ain't doing it your way. I don't have to become a meathead and go in the gym and pump 400 pounds. I don't have to be this nut that just has to go build and be a block mason. See, I didn't become you, Dow, and I still was being successful. And I was trying to tell your dumb ass, there's more ways to leadership than the way you know how to lead. See, you only know one way to lead. That's because you come from the military. You're a meathead. Look at you. You a meathead. That's all you know how to do. I was showing everybody it can still be done, and I wasn't using anybody. And if I was ever needed for a project, all they had to do was open their mouth. That's it. There was never, ask the brothers if there was ever a time when we told Pastor Rufus we need you and he didn't show up. Tell him that. All these dudes bit the lies. They bit on this hook of lies. And see, Vernon's doing this. Why? Who gonna be in charge, y'all? He don't want to be up under me. He thinks he's a leader. Been over Straitway, Georgia, 6 months. Brothers have already left that community, y'all. Brother Tim done already moved off that community in 6 months. He done already moved off. Another brother already looking for another job. So he ain't gonna have no debt crew here in a minute. What you gonna do, Dow? Put more money into it since you believe in them brothers. You believe in them, Georgia, but put more money to keep it going, Dow, because they not generating the money. I'm sitting here taking care of Mama Jaja. I'm taking care of all the saints. I'm taking care of all the lands, everything. Never an issue, never a late payment, never nothing, y'all. These bookers got 1.5 acres. They got Emiliano. They got Vernon. They got Herb. They got Tim. They got Mike. And they can't take care of 1.5 acres? They struggling taking care of 1.5 acres? Man, miss me with this. This is ridiculous. This is why they didn't want me at that meeting. This is why. Because everything everybody's saying is lies. But they believe this stuff. They literally believe this stuff. Let's go, man.
And Ranger told him that too as well.
Lie. That's another lie. Ranger never told him that I'm using him. Never.
Disability check and my Social Security, I get, for me, $200 to $250 a month.
How much do you give?
I'm giving them right now $2,200 a month, over $2,200 a month.
And you get $200 a month?
Yes, sir.
He said 253. That's fine.
No,
See,
sir.
he ain't got nothing. See, Dow ain't mad about that because he know that's fair from what Straitway has done. But here's the thing. This is what Herb ain't telling y'all. Out of that 2,200, he still got debts to take out of that. And Herb has always been told, anything you need, just take it and give me the rest, brother. Take it and give me the rest. Take it and give me the rest. But again, you notice Dow ain't getting mad about that. Because in his mind, his people ain't getting that. His people recently started getting a lot more money because of all the money Dow was spending. How you going to justify building 13,000 square foot home, doing all this stuff, buying all these new trucks and cars and all this stuff, when the people getting $50 a week? You can't keep doing that. But I guarantee this, y'all. If Georgia had the money that Straitway had, them brothers would be keeping their checks. I wouldn't even be requiring them. I wouldn't even be requiring them. Nobody. Here's the number one thing, y'all. In 14 years, do you know there was never one complaint about the way the community was run, about the finances, about the food, about the anything? Ask them. Ask them before this all went down. Was there anybody that ever came to Straitway and complained about Straitway, Georgia, and the way it was run? The answer would be no. But again, I knew Herb was going to bring up something about the money. I think I saw that part before. But that was true. Because again, if you're getting $50 a week, which is what all of us was getting, you take that out 4 weeks. That's that. And then I would tell him every night, hey, keep what you need. If you need something, take it. Herb would take that too. Because again, that's another thing people forget. At Straitway, Georgia, you paid nothing, y'all. And I'm not just talking about bills. Nothing. You didn't buy your toilet paper, your toothpaste, none of that. Your food that was in your place, none of that. Herb would take his money most time and spend it on the children, which is cool. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Nobody had anything to worry about. Nobody was oppressed at Straitway, Georgia. The only food in the end, Brother Vernon came to me like during this process, y'all. Like 2 weeks before this meeting. And I just think, man, if I could get a little more money. I said, okay, Brother Vernon, how much do you want? Do you know this man took over 24 hours to tell me how much he wanted? And then when he did, guess what he told me, y'all? Well, if I could get the internet bill, because mind you, he got internet at his house. Ask the people at Straitway which one of them got internet at their homes. Vernon got internet at his house. I told him from the beginning, take it out the money coming from the business, because the internet is for you to do business, right? Yeah. Apparently he forgot. When he asked me for more money, that's all he said. Well, if the business could pay for the internet, I said, Vernon, you should have already been doing that. Anything that is business related can come out the business. Oh man, I wasn't thinking. Mind you, he complaining, y'all, but he's asking for his internet was $48, y'all. $48. Go ask Vernon to look at his gun collection. He ain't got $200 and $300 guns in there. He got $600, $700, $1,200, $1,500 guns in there. Who helped him with that? If the community's so broke, these dudes, man, this is pathetic. I told y'all this is gonna be long. We 18 minutes in, an hour and 18. We ain't finna get through all this, y'all. I think y'all gonna get the point. But
anyway, this is foreign. Y'all need to understand this. Y'all need to comprehend. We're not painting no picture. This is a straight up reality. You can understand what I mean? Well, hold on.
Hey, we legit. I just got the community with Elder Crago, but I've been living around the Saints for 5 years, and it's been preached to us that that's the motto. And these brothers been giving all for a very long time. And I was made to believe like $50, $60, that should be your average allowance a week.
Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, everybody gives all here.
Right.
We're talking about what they get back.
Right, and what they receive back after when they give all, from what I've been hearing and witnessing from what the brothers tell me, is about $50, $60.
Now, listen, Brother Victor, do you have enough money to be able to buy clothes, shoes,
you notice,
any food you may want to have for the family?
My bad. Y'all notice Demetrius told the truth that this is what's been preached as the model going around Straitway. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, when most of these communities get started, y'all, matter of fact, all of them, the only one that started with a bunch of money was Elder Kabir's up there in Wisconsin. All these other communities ain't starting with a bunch of money, y'all. So if we giving all the money out for the saints to just go spend frivolously, how are we going to build? This is something that people come to the community know and everybody expects it. But when the community is taking care of everything you ever have a need of, it ain't hard. When you think about it, I get money to do what? Buy the stuff I need. You don't need that though. It's already taken care of. So why do you got to have the money in your hand? Understand that. Y'all don't understand how far $300-400 a month go when you don't have anything to spend it on. Like, see, here's a big difference between Georgia and Straitway. Straitway from day one has always given an allowance, but they make the same. Jamie testified to this, y'all, when Dow was giving him $100 a month. Remember, he said that $90 a month, but he had to buy clothes. He had to buy gas in the car to leave the land, all that stuff. He had to use his money to do that. Georgia's never been that way. From day one, if you need gas in your car, guess what? The community pay for that. If you need work boots, clothes, school clothes, uniforms, whatever, guess what? The community pays for that. So think about it. When all that is taken care of, how much money do all of us actually need? And again, we all been into that system because we saw the growth of it. Straitway, if you talk to the old heads at Straitway, there was, man, in the first 10, 15 years, Straitway, these boogers wasn't getting nothing, y'all. Jamie told y'all he was there 10 years ago. Dow will give him $90 to $100. Go back and look at his testimony and make him buy all these things for his family. That's because Straitway didn't have no money. And it took that to run that community. Dow wasn't driving around in $100,000 trucks then, y'all. They had an old 15-year Ford that they was driving around then. The money and the power that the men see, the power comes from the football players, the women, and the military dudes. And people say, well, why you keep talking about the military dudes and the football players? They already have that mindset for a dictator. NFL guys, they know the coach dictates everything. Military people, you never cross someone that is above you. If they tell you to go jump off that creek, you jump off that bridge, you'll go do it because you won't question them. And that's what Dow wants around him now. People that won't question his decisions. And he'll constantly remind you what he did 30 years ago. And it wasn't just him. Other people did that stuff too. This is sad, man. This is sad. The oppression that these people have put themselves under willingly. But if you notice, Dow didn't have nothing to say about what Demetrius said because it had been the model. And y'all found this out, those that's been connected. Y'all saw what the people said about up there with Kabir and them getting $50 a month per person because he's supplying all of their needs. They get $50 a month. Mind you, that brother Jordan, he don't even know it. That brother Jordan runs a company that brings in Kabir almost $300,000 a year. How do I know that, y'all? Kabir told me. He told me that the plaster company makes almost $300,000 a year. And he giving that guy $50 a month. His wife get $50 a month. His child get $50 a month. All this stuff Kabir providing, he could pay for that himself. And it's probably 3 or 4 brothers. So let's do the real math. If they're making $300,000 a year and there's 3 brothers running that crew, each brother's bringing in $100,000. I think they can live off there with their families without having another man do it. They just making the rich man richer up there is all they doing, y'all. They just making the rich man richer up there. And mind you, there's other brothers that's going out work. There's other income that is coming in. And he want to talk about somebody working. Show me the time when you seen Kabir or David, which is a deacon up there. And I love David dearly. But show me the times when you seen them show up and do any kind of physical labor for any of the saints. Show me the time. See, don't give me the media BS because Michael Israel does media. Does he not? But y'all see Michael Israel still showing up with his brothers and they do physical work. So I'm not trying to hear that. Oh, Kabir's a money man. What that mean? What that mean? Just because he's a CFP, he's get excluded from doing any of the work. When is McGill gonna show up for doing stuff? Now Elder Donnie, he did start showing up towards the end. He has tried to make it to some stuff, but the majority of the leaders ain't showing up. When y'all go look at these videos, you're gonna see Dow, you're gonna see Mitchell, you're gonna see me, you will see Mir once they came along. You don't even see Pastor Corey in a lot of this stuff. He just recently started working. This is why Dow had issues with Corey. But now I'm the lazy one because my brother said come off the job and we see the need in Israel, the spiritual need. You're fitting that. We don't need you to work on the land as much anymore, Pastor Rufus or Elder Rufus, because look at what y'all's provided. Now we got all the brothers and we got the resources here and we're getting things done. And Dow didn't like it because he's like, this man ain't got to do nothing. That's how he viewed it. I ain't got to do nothing. I don't look at my hands. Your hands that way because you lift weights. You ain't fooling nobody. That ain't from lifting blocks, dumbass. That's from you pounding them weights all the time. Somebody need to check your blood, bro. That's what somebody need to do. Let's go.
Family to be able to provide for your children and your wife.
Yes, sir. I have enough.
You can't provide for your family on $50 damn or what? A week. You can't provide for your dang family for $50 damn a week.
How did everybody do it forever so
Remember
far
when he
then?
wanted to come down and talk to the brethren about talking to the soon to be on community
Notice who
level
doing
as
all the
well.
talking, y'all.
I
Notice
was
who
telling
doing all
him,
the talking.
before you get on community, you better buy what you're gonna buy. Remember you was talking about, well, at least it was purported
Look
to
how
us
they looking at
that
him.
you actually wanted to come down and hear the reason why we was telling these offland brothers this.
Yeah.
Because long as you know me, I've been telling you community is the goal, right? But because of the tyranny, I guess it got flipped around, but because of the way that it's run, this is another reason why the brothers was telling the offland brothers, get what you gonna get. Because we thinking that this was the model.
This is
Has
nothing.
their
Let's
own
move on.
credit card with an amount on the credit card,
Tell them the
and
amount.
they're told they can spend, but they obviously see that I monitor it. But I know I got good.
Look at that,
I don't
y'all.
have to.
I
Usually when you
monitor
see
it.
stuff being bought.
Listen
it's
close.
for the job that they're doing on the land. Or
They got a
gas,
card
or
with an
something,
amount they can spend.
or something.
Tell them the amount.
You see what I'm saying?
Pastor Mir.
Not only that, it's commanded 1 week out of a month. Take your wife somewhere.
I'm gonna get up out of this stuff. This
Go
is the
with your
relevant
wife.
stuff.
I asked him because his whole family is
This
on a
dude.
carnivore diet.
Oh boy, here we go.
We know what steak and beef cost.
Wow.
And I used the reference that we're eating ramen noodles. Now, of course, they do the grocery shopping and they bring in processed meats and box foods and all this type of stuff and salads, you know, on the boxes. And
y'all listen close.
he come in there and he got a plate stack of steaks and stuff like that, and we eating Mexi dip and Mexi melt, noodles and cheese and some hamburger. And I asked him about that, and he like, for real, Vernon? See, your ass is so carnal. We talking about gym shoes,
flip the script,
gym shoes and food, for real? And he said, because I didn't go to him, I told him that I had talked to you before he was coming up to get the judgment, because he put out everything y'all say is going to be twisted and used against you.
That's a
fear
fact.
Ain't no fear, it's just a fact.
I said now, and I was just coming up here and I was telling all of the brothers that roll with me everything. I was telling everything to them. But
no fear tactic. That was facts.
See, God damn it, it's assholes like you and assholes and assholes.
That's where his offense. That's his offense right there, y'all. When I call him an asshole, he was real hot. Now, what Vernon won't tell everybody, but everybody here knew it. Nobody said a word. My family was on this diet called carnivore, where you eat just strictly meat. Elder Brent, we do chickens, right? There where we at. Robert do layers. We went to meat birds. Elder Brent went to meat birds, but Elder Brent also has cows. So 90% of our beef is already taken care of by Elder Brent. He supplies the beef for the community and all the other communities that was down there. And Straitway, he was giving them beef too. He's giving everybody beef, right? So it's not like we're spending money to get the beef. But what Vernon won't tell you is that brother Miliano, remember the one that spoke honestly before? He was on carnivore before any of us. He had been on carnivore for a couple of years, y'all. Brother Tim, he didn't tell you about Brother Tim and them being on carnivore either. These were families that were already on carnivore before my family decided to do it. Matter of fact, watching them and seeing the effect that it had on them is what made my family get on carnivore. So now he's mad. He wasn't mad when Tim and the Milano's family was eating carnivore, but he's mad when mine is eating carnivore. And again, it's actually cheaper because you ain't doing nothing but eating meat and salt, y'all. I don't have to have the salads. I don't have to have the pastas because you only eat meat. If anybody know about carnivore. So mind you, my family's eating meat that the community don't even have to pay for. The Elder Brent is supplying for all the communities down there. Everybody that wanted meat down there got it from either Elder Brent or they got chicken from either Straitway, Georgia, or from Elder Brent and them too, because they raise meat birds and we raise meat birds in Georgia. Brother Robert in Georgia East was doing layers. He was doing layers. and producing some eggs. And I think in Bama they were just getting set up, but they got some birds that do both, I think. But the majority, like when we would do our chicken butcherings, that was us and that was Cleveland. So that chicken meat was coming from there. The beef, Elder Brent had cows. He was providing the beef. So, and he knows this. Vernon knows this. So he's acting, see, he's trying to present it like we're going out spending a whole bunch of money on my family to feed them something that nobody else in the community gets. First and foremost, guys were on it for years before we even did it. Multiple families was doing it before we did it. But it's an issue now. Y'all see how this play is? This dude right here is just, this dude is an asshole. And that's what makes him mad because I called him an asshole to his face. And he was hot. And he is an asshole. But see, I forgot another brother, Brandon McCoy. When he came down and worked with us for a while, I sent him out with the deck crew. And I ended up having to rebuke him over it because he was working with Vernon. And he literally called Vernon an asshole on the job. And see, I didn't really think of that when I called him an asshole. But I see it still left a little sting in him being called an asshole. But that's just what he is. And that's why the community's the shit now. Because I started with nothing. Build it up, Brother Vernon. I don't want to hear you crying and complaining. See, you want to say that I left you in a bad position, but I didn't because I left everything that was ever purchased for the community. I'm talking about down to the tables and chairs, y'all. I'm talking about everything in the store. I'm talking about all this was left. Anything that was supposed to be for the community stayed for the community. See, he would say that 2020 truck didn't, the 2020 truck, and ask Elder Brent. It was never for the community. And we were told by Dow to never let you drive it. But because Dow pissed at me now he's saying you can drive it. Man, both of you niggas can.
When
man,
I had the meeting
something.
with him on the deck, because I was talking to Elder Brent.
I'm gonna skip this dude, y'all, because he ain't. We know he just straight line.
Don't go to him.
He just straight line. He's straight
him.
line. And you notice we're doing all the talking, y'all.
You'll be a damn fool if y'all want to continue to keep standing with this bullshit.
So me move to other people's testimonies.
I went to him. I said, "Man, how would you like to have this truck? That black Ram that I've been driving around in." I gave it to him. They gave me an opportunity to go buy another truck.
At least he's telling the truth now. He gave Elder Becker a $70,000 truck he had, $80,000 truck. Anyway, then he went out and bought himself a $120,000 truck. He told the truth on that. He did. I'm trying to get to some meat, y'all.
Because living with him and stuff, it became easier to go to him. I used to.
Yeah, I'm not.
It helps
that's
the morale.
not.
It gives people, because I'm
a witness to all of it.
Let's see what Brother Caleb got to say. Now, Brother Caleb is a brother that moved here from the West Coast, and he's part of the Alabama community now. He was part of Georgia for a while, a couple of years.
I just wanted to stand up and say I'm actually, a witness to all of it. Ever since we came from Washington, I know my wife's back there, Tanisha. It's really hard and disheartening because I remember when we all came down, we just did exactly what Straitway did. Got into one house, all came together, paid off everybody's debt. And right then and there, we were told, hey, you get allowance, $50, this, that. But we were so excited because we were like, this is the Straitway. This is how Straitway does it. And ever since we got to Georgia, it's been like that. You know what I mean? So, and I know communities and being modeled off of that because you just want to do right. You like, oh man, I want to do exactly what Straitway does, And it is hard because, I remember I'm going in now because T's back there crying because it's so disheartening. Because you love your leadership so much, man.
Mind y'all, this young man right here, I am married to his mother-in-law. His wife, I'm married to her mother. That's why she's crying. Let's just keep it a buck. They crying, but she's back there crying because she know this man is tearing all this up. Now, again, this is what I want y'all to do that care. Ask anybody that's connected to them, where were the complaints? Nobody had a complaint about the way we were living because we had all things common. It wasn't a scenario where I get all the great stuff and everybody else gets scraps. That's what Dow's trying to present, and that's just a flat out lie. None of these people that came from the West Coast, that came from wherever they came, nobody had an issue at all. At all. And nobody had a need. There was nobody that needs was not being met. Nobody. I was going to go into what the saints, all the saints that were around Georgia, start calling Brother Vernon's family. Because see, Brother Vernon is one of these guys that you can never satisfy, y'all. Like if we do a Marco Polo for the group and say, hey, we got this. Let me see here. We got 2 cases of this bottle of water. These candles, we don't really need them. We got 12 of these sitting around, and then here's shea butter. We got the shea butter. Does anybody need these? The first person that would be on that Marco Polo claiming that stuff would be somebody from Vernon's family. And I'm not even going to use the name that they call him. I'm going to let y'all ask some of those folk and they can tell y'all. This is what the saints came up. I wasn't calling them this because I didn't know about it. The other saints saw it all the time. So you know people that way that they needy and they don't need nothing. Everything's taken care of. Vernon had a freezer in his home full of food all the time. He had a refrigerator in his home full of food all the time. There were benefits his family got that nobody else on the community got. But they were always wanting something, always wanting something. Y'all ask some of these saints what they call them. Y'all gonna laugh. Y'all gonna laugh. But this is my son-in-law speaking now. And Tanisha is crying, but she ain't crying because I did them wrong. She crying because she know this man is tearing up a good thing.
Especially, you talking about got so much impact. You come out the world, you got somebody finally teaching you how to be a man. And it's a big thing. And Shep, we all the young men, we look at you, and it's like, man, bro, I ain't really got the words. It's bittersweet. Because we love y'all so much, man. And it just hurts. It hurts, bro, because you wanna do right. You wanna follow Yah. You wanna be a strong man. You know what I mean? That's what you want. So when we go through these things, it still teaches us how to be men, how to be overcomers, and how to get it right, and how to treat our brothers, and how to treat our sisters, and how to treat our family. And just like I was telling T, because those you don't know, her mother was Pastor Rufus' 4th wife. And I remember she was so excited and so happy when she felt like this man of Yah chose me after all the shit I've been through. And now just this stuff coming out, man, it's really a test of faith. And I want to say this in front of everybody. I'm with it, just like I was with it when I came from Washington. I choose Straitway. I choose Yah. I choose to build the kingdom. And just like me and Jonathan said, it's 10-5. We got 5 years of work to do, 10 years of work to do in 5 years. And we're going to keep pushing hard. We're going to keep pushing strong. We're going to overcome. My beautiful daughter Shia, man, Pastor Dow was the one who laid hands on her. And she's here now. I'm just saying that I'm grateful. And we all can get through it. We all could do this. And I'm just with it, man. Praise God. Glory to the King.
All right, the 10 years of work in 5 years, that's BS. That's the only thing Dow could throw out to everybody about this reset. He knew it was going to be reset. He didn't know what was going to happen. He didn't know what y'all was going to do to tear this wickedness down that he's got going on. But let's come back and look in 5 years and let's see if Straitway has accomplished 10 years of work. It ain't going to happen. I already know because it's BS. That wasn't the reset. Y'all going to reset something. He ain't finna reset the natural stuff. He finna reset the spiritual. And you got these brothers already working their tails off anyways, bringing in as much money as they could trying to build. And now you saying they got to double what they're doing? We got to double what? Why? So you can get more people in and take their money and control it. If y'all listen closely to Dial stuff he's been putting out recently, he already telling them, y'all ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing with the foundations. So guess what? We ain't putting no more properties in the foundation. We're going to put them in the established foundations already. I asked Michael Rizzo the other day, is he comfortable putting the land that whatever they end up getting for Nashville in Dial name? He said, yeah. Now he has a foundation. But Dollar's already putting the marks down and letting these people know, because you ain't doing what I think you should do with your foundation, your land going into a different one. And guess what? If you got land in Tennessee, that means your land going in Dow's foundation. He's claiming he got people like Mir saying Dow should be over all the different foundations. All of y'all finna put all y'all hard work in this man's hand. Y'all are foolish. Because look at me. Just imagine if I did that. If every other those other 5 acres of land, if they would have been put in Dow's name, I would have left Straitway with nothing, y'all. Nothing. Nothing. And he would have been proud of that. He would have told you after 14 years, this man been so lazy, he don't deserve nothing. Do y'all really believe that? A man that's just, think about how they're talking about me now and saying how lazy they claim I am. Now, mind you, I got W-2s to prove that I worked from 2011 to 2018. I worked till the brothers told me to come off, and I was working my jobs, bringing in more money than any saint. No saint has ever brought in more money than me at Straitway, Georgia. Anybody that's ever lived on that land, I have always been, me and my family has always been the number one givers to that community from day one. And that's how it should be. And we ain't bragging about that, but to sit here and say that we've added nothing, we've done nothing, we've been lazy physically, this is crazy. To take that thing from 1.22 acres and now it's 7 point something acres. To have one building there, y'all. Think about it. We had one double wide trailer that used to be a barn. When Dow bought that thing, it was a barn, y'all. This lady was using it and she had all kind of animals up in there. We had to strip that thing to the core. I had to buy a bunch of kills to cover it, man. It was a barn, and we converted that thing to a beautiful home. It is a beautiful home. And guess what? It's enough homes on that land now where the whole entire Georgia community can live on that 1.5 acres and have a roof over their head. But we've never built nothing in Georgia. Where's Dow's proof that he's been a worker? Where's it at? Where are your W-2s? How much have you brought in? Your 20% military, your YouTube money. Where's it at, Dow? It's amazing this man will say something and y'all will just ignore the 100% facts that I had to work and bring this community up to par. And guess what? The community didn't go to another level until I could get off the job. Because once I did, that's when y'all blessed with the brothers. That's when he blessed with the resources, and that's when he blessed with the finances. And guess what? We started building at breakneck speed. And this dog Dow, that's when he got jealous. Because he realized this man getting this stuff done, and he in his mind, he fat, he overweight, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't no block mason. He don't know how to do this. And he mad because I'm not out here working 60, 70 hours a week laying block like he thought he used to do. Maybe back in the early days, Dow did have to do that. But y'all forget, they called in other communities, like Robert's community. They had another pastor they called in, and Dow had 70-some people living on the land back then. He had plenty of labor to help him build. It wasn't just him. It wasn't just it was plenty of folk helping back then, just like he got plenty of people helping now. How much do y'all think Dollars put into his new house? Like him. How much work he has done. Y'all seen everybody been coming in to work. He done brought Bama brothers up to do stuff. He done brought the Wisconsin boys down to do stuff. He got them. Dollar ain't doing no work on that house. That's brother Bud doing the majority of that. But Dollar show up on a pour. He'll show up there, do a quick little video, make everybody think he's doing it. On a day-to-day, he ain't doing shit on that house. And guess why I know that? Because the brothers that worked on the house testified and told me. They told me. I didn't have to assume it or think it. They were the ones that told me, nah, he ain't here. And they don't even want him there. They would rather do the work with Dow. You're a pastor. Go do pastor stuff. You're almost 60 years old. Why you need to be out here working like this? It's cool. The Bible says, old man for their wisdom, young man for their strength. You ain't young no more. So I don't have a problem. I worked my ass off in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. I did. I ain't got no problem. Now, if I need to go out there and hit it hard, I will. I'll do what's necessary. But you're not finna mold me into being who you think I'm supposed to be. You don't have a right to do that. And that's what his problem is. That he saw this man ain't doing the things that I want him to do, but he's still getting the results done. And he's actually following the model. What other community had other communities fellowshipping with them? Think about that, y'all. What other community had that? Dow got what they got there at the hub, but then they got the Clarksville Saints, you got Elder Mitchell and them, you got Elder Donnie and them, you got Elder Chris and them, all these other little communities come in there to fellowship. Did I not copy the same model? Right there at the hub, at the Straitway in the South Hub, the Straitway, Georgia. Did I not have Cleveland coming down to fellowship? Did I not have Bama coming over to fellowship? Did I not have Georgia East coming to fellowship? Did I not have South Carolina coming over to fellowship sometime? He saw me doing exactly what he was doing. I was more efficient. I didn't have to go out here and look like damn steroid up Lou Ferrigno to impress brothers. They saw my love. I deposited real fruit in these brothers. I worked on these brothers with their marriages. I worked on these brothers with their children. I worked on these brothers on how to take care of brothers and walk in love. I gave them the stuff they really needed to make it. Guess what? I guarantee all of them struggling right now. I guarantee Brother Jonathan hurting down there in Alabama right now. I guarantee it. I guarantee Robert hurting right now. We already see what's going on with Mir. We do. Michael Israel can give you this pie in the sky, all this stuff. He ain't even on community. They just living in communal homes. But these brothers that are running communities, shoot, they all struggling. And guess what? People ain't stupid. They got the Holy Spirit. They flee in these communities. They don't want to come work their tail off like Deacon Bell did. Give all of their resources for decades. 40 hours a week at Walmart, 50 hours a week, then come working 30, 40 hours a week on the land. Now he's in the 60 or late 50s or 60. I don't know. Deacon, I don't know how old Deacon is. I know he can't work no more. You've literally destroyed his body. And guess what? Dow was telling you that this man is nothing. If this man decided that he don't like what Dow doing and left, he would tell you Deacon Bell was nothing to him. This man didn't know how to do block. He was barely good enough to carry water. He would degrade this man for the decades of work that he's done. All he had to do is just tell Dow, I don't want to live in the community no more. He wouldn't be a saint anymore. He would have turned his back on Yah. All these things. See, when you choose Yah, man has nothing to do with that. So I hear what my son-in-law is saying. I choose Straitway. Again, he came here for Straitway. I never gave him an option to follow me. Ask him. Ask any brother that says Straitway, Georgia, or any of them other communities, did they ever have an option to follow Pastor Rufus? I never gave them that option. Because I'm not finna start no ministry. I'm not finna go out here and repeat the mistakes that I've seen made in Straitway. No, I'm not. I'm going to teach men how to be patriarchs of their home. I'm going to teach men how to do these things on their own and never close their bowels of compassion. I gave a compliment and I called the brother and told him, thank you, Brother Reuben. He's been a great example of what it should have been the whole time. Because one thing Reuben's never done is give up his patriarch of his home. He's never let the ministry dictate what he's doing in his home. But anytime the ministry needed him, any brothers called on him, needed him, the Reubenite boys, they would show up. They never closed their bowels of compassion. That's what men need to be doing. And they stayed in fellowship. Reuben them came, moved, got a piece of land, got closer, and they were coming to fellowship like every other week. So he was still fellowshipping. That's how you can do it. You don't have to be up under this tyrannical control where you got to give all your resources, you got to give all your finances and all of your labor, and then have no assurances. You have zero assurances. You have to trust this man. Somebody need to go over to my Facebook page and look at what I put up about the signs of a cult. See, Downham used to be accused of being a cult. I didn't see all that back then because I saw a humble brother. Because people don't know this. In the beginning, Dow actually tried to put that first acre, that 1.22 acres, they tried to put that in my name. But I had a minor legal thing going on at the time. So about some old child support, all this stuff. I was like, I don't want nothing to cross, right? I didn't want nothing to interfere with the saint stuff. That's why I did not put that first acre 22 in my name. But I got all that taken care of quickly. I mean, it really was nothing. I didn't want to give the opportunity. I didn't want them coming back saying, oh, you own this and you didn't say that. I didn't want nothing like that. So I said, keep it in your name. We literally at the attorney's office arguing on whose name is going to be in. We put it in Mount Jennifer's name. I said, no, we're not. I literally forced Dow to put in his name. I hate the fact that I did that. I wish I would have just went ahead and put it in my name. I do. Because right now, if it was all in my name, we wouldn't have this problem. He would have took all those saints and moved them somewhere else is what he would have done. And guess what I would have done? Allowed any saint that wanted to move in there that was worthy, they could have moved on in. It'd have been on them. The one thing I told those brethren, I said, look, I can't force you off your land. This is our land. So if you want to be here, you can. Ask them brothers, did I not tell them when all this went down, you can still use the multi-purpose building. Dow told them don't go on nothing with his name on it. Mike's little cabinet he had that he was living in, it's still down there on land that's in my name. I told him he could stay there. No, we put him down here. No problem. Then they come back later, a couple months. Hey, can we get that building? Bro, yeah. That was intended for community. Every storage building, I gave them everything. They still got stuff in the freezer buildings. They still utilize that. I think that's the only thing they utilize is the freezer building. I didn't cut my bowels compassion off to these saints. I didn't. Even though most of them, what you guys would call backstab me, I didn't. Lied on me, became false witnesses on me. Especially Vernon, just a lying dog. Vernon's just a lying dog. But guess what? I have to forgive Vernon. Why? He's not finna stop me from getting into the kingdom. And now he's getting what he desired. You know what? He getting exactly this is what he wanted. Mind you, Dollar's the one that said a 50-something-year-old man should never start a community. But Vernon telling me he want to go start a brand new community, buy 10, 15 acres of land and start a brand new community. He said, you don't start communities in your 50s. And I told Vernon, this man gonna kill you. He gonna kill you. This is what Vernon got mad at me about because I knew his plans. He's trying to add another wife to take care of all these little babies he's got. That's why. Because the second wife is older and is wearing her out. So now he wants to take on another wife and have more children because he's possessed about having a son. But I loved him enough to tell him the truth. He mad at me about that. I know he is. Putting my business out there. Man, you out here talking to my exes. And you tripping on me? Telling the truth, though? At least I'm telling the truth. Yeah, you interested in another woman to add to your thing to really be a babysitter because they weren't going to be able to have no children for you. And keep putting children into marriage until you have a son. I hope you actually get the son so they can get a break. I do. I hope you get your son so they can get a break. But a 50-something-year-old man, he's right there at Pastor Dow's age, and you want to go start a community, so you're supposed to take Dex Porches and More to the next level, do 2 to 3 times the work you were doing when you was under me, start this community, and then take care of all the needs of the saints. I guarantee all them brothers down there disappointed in you already. Because none of them had respect for you like that anyways. They respected you because of me. Look, we going to be brothers. Look how long it took for the brothers to come together finally. You were a major part of why they wasn't coming together, Vernon. And we still loved you. And as soon as you got an opportunity to sail me up on the river, you did for a little bit of power. And then Dow cut your nuts off because I saw it. Oh, I didn't say Vernon was over it forever. This is a temporary thing. I could put any kind of elder or leader down there. Vernon is not going to be the one over. I told you he didn't trust you like that. I tried to tell you. I told you he don't trust you like that. Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that? Man, let's get back to the tapes. I'm going to try to skim through some of this stuff, y'all. I really am because we ain't but 30 minutes into it.
I'm going to tell you right now, y'all not alone.
Want to know was that
okay? Here come another lie from her.
Y'all got to make sure y'all don't get tired.
See, you listen to that. Oh boy, I'm glad I got that in there. Look at that.
Who laid hands on her, and she's here now.
We're gonna get to the right part, y'all. Let's hear Dow's real heart.
But I do. Hey, there's one thing y'all got to make sure y'all don't.
And
I'm becoming a Christian. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all not
Listen,
alone.
Not alone.
Those who choose to follow us as we follow Messiah, y'all not alone. We're gonna help you out. We're gonna help y'all make sure y'all get. But I do. Hey, there's one thing y'all got to make sure y'all don't get tired.
Yes, sir.
I'm becoming a Christian.
He admitted it, y'all. Now y'all don't believe it, but he actually is. He has become a Catholic.
I was told.
See, everybody laugh at that, but he's telling the truth. He has become a Catholic Christian. See, what the Catholics do, y'all, is they do all these works for men to see. Like all these soup kitchens, all these places that give you clothes and stuff, all these places that pay your utility bills. That's all owned by the Catholics, y'all. Nobody in the world gives more than the Catholics. And they do it in front of men all the time, and they'll put it out there. For you to look at that and say, you know what? We built your church. We did this. We give money to this. We pay your bills. We pay your people bills. Y'all won't give them money from y'all church. They come over here and we'll still pay their bills for them. Also, you ignore the evil that the Catholic Church is doing. That's all Dow is doing. So he's not lying. Notice in the midst of this, think about this, in the midst of this, he's telling them to do something that ain't even biblical no more. Tithing. Make sure you pay your tithes. You're gonna help. We're gonna supply to you all that. They shouldn't even be paying nothing right now. If you really trying to rebuild them and get them where they need to be, you should have poured a ton of money into them. You should have, because you got rid of you took all the money. All the people that lived around there that was paying. I already know y'all. That was about $6,000 to $7,000 a month that the saints that lived around Straitway, Georgia, that was the offlanders we call them. They was giving about $6,000 to $7,000 a month. Dow gets all that money now. He gets all that money now. Then you got all these brothers around there still. It shouldn't be hard. You got the money. Put it into that community. He don't believe in that community. He don't. He don't believe in that community. And guess what? When it fails, he gonna try to blame all on me. But it's amazing. While I was running it 14 years, we never had a problem. Guess another thing I never did, y'all. Dow can't tell you one time I've ever called Straitway and asked for their help financially. Tell them to do it. Tell Dow to tell you the time that I called and said, we can't do this. I need your help financially, Dow. Never. I've already put that out there the one time that I did borrow money from one man, and it didn't take me a week, 2 weeks to pay him back, Pastor Mir. And it wasn't to help that. I told everybody what that was about, so I ain't got to go down that road. But again, I ain't never asked Dow for no money. I ain't never asked none of them people there for no money. I ain't never went to no other community, nothing to ask for no money for us to be sustained. But you got to pour a lot of money in them because they ain't finna generate none. Let's go. Let's hear this lie. I know Herb, if he talking about something, there's a lie. Let's go.
When I wanted to go get circumcised, I was told by
Oh my God.
Pastor Rufus that leadership said that because I've been through so many surgeries that I should just put it on hold.
That's a lie. I did not tell him leadership said. This man asked me, what do you think Pastor Nim would say about this? I said, I'm pretty sure leadership would agree. Because what I told her, y'all, this man had open heart surgery. And he comes to me like a month and a half, 2 months later saying he want to get circumcised. He's in his 60s, y'all, mid 60s. And I say, Herb, I don't know if that's wise to do right now. I said, don't you got a doctor's appointment in a few weeks? He said, yes. I said, ask your doctor. If your doctor say that it's okay for you to get this surgery, because circumcision, that's a serious surgery, especially for a man in his 60s that just had open heart surgery. I said, if the doctor says it's cool for you to get the surgery, go ahead. Oh, what you think, Passion? I said, brother, they going to take the leadership, they going to be in agreement. Because again, we care more about your health. If your heart has been circumcised, you good. Now, I'm not saying don't get physically circumcised because I'm physically circumcised. But because of your health condition, consult your doctor. If he say it's cool, I ain't got no problems with it. That's how I answered her. Look how he twists this now.
I'm going to do that to get myself right with the Father.
And watch Dow's answer, y'all.
Want to know was that his saying?
Hold on.
Really
we got to do this right. Hold on. We got to do this right. We got to do this right. I want y'all to hear her and then listen to Dow's response. He don't care.
I was told
he don't care about people.
Circumcised. I was told by Pastor Rufus that leadership said that because I've been through so many surgeries, that I should just put it on hold.
Put it on hold.
I want to do that to get myself right with the Father. And I'm just want to know, was that his saying or was that really leadership?
Brother, go get circumcised.
You hear what this man told him? No care about his medical condition. Nothing. Telling this man to go get circumcised. He just had open heart surgery. Listen to the man. I want to do that to get right with Yah. You need to get physically circumcised to get right with Yah? Which one of y'all think right now that Yah cares about? Does he care more about the physical circumcision or the spiritual circumcision? Some of y'all put the answer in the chat, in the comment section, I mean. Some of y'all put it in there. Listen to Dow, though. He didn't care nothing about this. This man's telling them he's had multiple surgeries, and Dow knew he had open heart because I told him. He probably forgot because he don't care about her. Without even thinking, go get the surgery.
want to do like Brother Tristan did and circumcise yourself. I don't want to get in the way of your happiness.
Are you listening to this?
Come on, son.
And people clapped about that.
I was just gonna talk to you after, but Brother Caleb inspired me to just say it in front of everybody. I repent to you, my shepherd, because I allowed.
Say again, I can't hear you.
I repent to you, my shepherd, because I allowed myself to be blinded. Because Pastor Rufus was somebody I viewed as a father since the first day.
You hear what he said?
So when I heard
from the first day he met,
Holy Spirit, that's one of the first things that came up is receive not an accusation against the elder except by 2 or 3 witnesses. But I didn't act on it. And I thank you, Pastor Corey, for bringing out the word, because I really have some repentance to do, because I've been a partaker because I didn't say anything. You
still being manipulated, son.
I just want to say that. And
he's feeling it now, though.
Said, I'm here.
I ain't laughing at him. I'm just laughing at the situation. He's feeling it now.
Pastor Rufus has done, he hasn't done everything wrong. He's done a lot of right and a lot of good. Are you following me? You got to be balanced here. But
ain't no balance.
The things that we're dealing with is some serious issues, some heavy issues.
They're not.
How you gonna sit up and say not receiving accusation against an elder, and then you are an elder and you giving out accusations?
I didn't tell him that. That's not what he said. You listen close.
What are y'all listening to?
That's what he said. The spirit is, dude. Let's see how you don't listen, y'all. The brother said the spirit told him that. I didn't tell him don't receive an accusation against an elder. I never told him that. Listen close. See what I'm talking about. Dow ain't paying no attention. I pay attention to details.
You good to go. But how is it that y'all know this word? We're extremely.
I'm gonna get past this dog.
Because as quick as I got Straitway, Georgia started, how is it that y'all anything else there in that community? You know what he said to us in the leadership meeting? We've got that.
Only thing we had layers, and we converted over to meat birds.
Well, I already knew that. Yes. Did y'all hear that in that meeting?
Let me see what lie he told here, y'all.
Damn chickens and cows and ducks and geese and every damn thing else there.
Now, this is where the Mrs. Lies coming in at again. You can have all that where we live down there. There's no restriction against any of those things. You can have goats, cows, all that kind of stuff. But the way our land is placed, we don't have hills, so it ain't a good spot for goats. Even though a couple of our neighbors that had some hills, they had goats. You go around the corner, they got horses, they got cows. But because our land wasn't massed, like we didn't have land for cows, because again, y'all know you need pasture, all that kind of stuff, pasture land and all that. We didn't have land for that. But what I said to Dow was, yes, you can. He kept saying, you can't have that down there. I'm like, yeah, we can. There's no restriction on any kind of animal. And all those animals live around us in that neighborhood. Other people with bigger plots of land and stuff have that kind of stuff. So for him to sit here and say you can't have all that, that's not true. All that was needed for a transition community was what we were doing, which was the layers and the meat birds and stuff like that. What else did we really have to have? Could we have went out and got a couple goats? Yeah, we could have. We didn't see the benefit of it, though. I didn't, at least. Not there. So now he's trying to paint this picture that I lied and said, oh, we got all that. I never said we got that. I said we can have that. It's allowed. He's saying that it's illegal to do it in the land where we live. And I'm telling him it's not. They didn't restrict in any of that. The only restriction in that area down there is new people can't bring in a single wide trailer. That's it. All our trailers are double wide and all that, so it didn't matter. But you can't bring in a single wide trailer. Everything else is fine. And that's what, it's just, man.
In that community, you know what he said to us in the leadership meeting?
Dude, the dog. I'm going to get to some.
That's my hope is.
I want to hear some of the other people talk.
Every bit of it's going to change. I mean, I don't care if we have to try to.
Tithes and offerings to.
Hold on.
I mean, I don't care if we have to try to go find a house down there and buy it and some acreage and land because it's quick.
He lying. He lying.
We can also start another community.
Why has he not done it then? He said he can do it. Why has he not done it? Why didn't he go find a house with 5, 10, 15 acres and move everybody on it? He ain't done it.
I have a question.
You don't love him like that. I told him
the
that.
On-landers and the off-landers and stuff, Straitway, Georgia. Mm-hmm. You know, we was giving tithes and offerings to the community as well as bringing stuff. You're going to leave it at that. We donating stuff. But as far as fellowship, where do the offlanders do as of now?
Okay, right now, anything that he has in his name, you can't fool with it, because he probably, if he see y'all posture and stuff change, he probably just gonna call the police on y'all the same way he did what he was gonna do with us. So for right now, you got 30 days. I mean, because how many is it of y'all down there right now, excluding Pastor Rufus and his family in
I don't even
Georgia?
know.
It's about 35 of them.
35 of them. Now, because you know, y'all used to use the double wide trailer for a while.
I was just going to say, one of the new brothers named Bobby, he came to service, and Miliano was talking with him, and he called me over. In lieu of everything, he was in the dark and just finding out everything. He was about in tears, just like, what's going on? Does this mean we're never going to see you guys again? And I just felt led in my spirit. I said, well, because he had already told me he got 30 days to get off. So I was like, so if I move over into the double wide, that for the Shabbats, if it's all right with you, that everybody can come and we'll just do it like we used to do it.
That's what y'all can do.
Hallelujah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the way it should be done. Because I still hadn't made up my mind exactly what I'm going to do with that land. Now, if we end up with some land and another home or something like that, then it's obvious what I'm going to be able to do with that land. If you understand what I mean. But I don't want y'all even near him, if you understand what I mean. But you just have to endure this for right now.
Listen close, y'all.
Until we can get you free, if you understand what I mean. So some of y'all there in Georgia, man, and you already got roots established there. Been having roots established there.
Through the dog, man. Straight dog.
So
I don't care nothing about this thing.
I do also want to make it public, just to be in the same vein. That's not to take away any credit or any of the, like you said, Pastor Rufus has done a lot of good things, a lot of deliverance, a lot of healing. He was the first one to ever lay hands on my knees.
Are y'all listening? I want y'all to really hear this and listen close. I'm telling you, baby. I want y'all to really hear this and listen close. Listen to the things he's talking about I'm doing for them. All spiritual. This is my son-in-law, though. All spiritual. Let's go.
First tabernacles here. So I don't ever want to take away or diminish any of the things that the Father has used him to do and to heal his people and to deliver his people in that capacity. So I just want to make that public as well. I'm very appreciative of it, because I probably wouldn't have known my brothers, any of that, if y'all hadn't used them in that capacity at that time. So I want to make that public.
Let me tell y'all something, Israel. I don't care who defects or whatever it is. Y'all do have righteous leadership. These men up here,
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Now, this man gets up and he publicly gives a testimony about the goodness of me, and every single thing he said was something spiritual. And Dow's first response is I don't care who defects. Did y'all hear that? How he slid that in there? This man knows what's going on. He knew all the people that he's using in this meeting. Do you know there's a good chunk of the people that was there at that meeting that are not with Straitway anymore? They have all defected. He knew they were going to. He knew they were going to. Y'all got to listen with detail and close. This is how devils slide in and snakes get in. Now he's finna try to pump everybody up and tell them that they got righteous leadership. Y'all tell me y'all think that man to Pastor Dow's left is a righteous leader? When his son did something and he beat his son. Now that's a 400-pound man. 360, 70, 80 pounds. Look how big that man is. Strongest man in Israel that I know of. And he beat a 14-year-old boy like he would have whooped a grown man, he said. Y'all saw the evidence of it. That's righteous leadership? That's righteous leadership. Now, I call these men wicked for a reason. Y'all gonna get to see. Y'all seeing it. Y'all seeing it. But listen to him close. This man testifies of the goodness that I've done. And instead of him acknowledging that, he says, look, some of y'all gonna defect. He already know. Because see, he's the one saying, Judge them by the fruit. Fruit is spiritual, y'all. Fruit is spiritual. The blessings of your labors, the work of your hands, you get blessed for that. Fruit is spiritual. I don't know how many times I got to say it. And Jesus said, you will know them by their fruits. Why do you think so many people are still in support of what I'm doing right now? They would love to see our fellowships, our gatherings. They would love to see the work that I'm doing now. It ain't none of their business. In their mind, they think I'm just sitting on the porch talking all day. Let them keep thinking that. Let them keep thinking that. See, I'm not putting my works out there to broaden my phylacteries. I'm not putting my work out there behind a cloak of maliciousness saying, oh, I'm trying to keep the young people motivated. No, Israel ain't never had a problem with working. Israel always work hard. We've always been that way. You're doing it so you can make money off of it and give the appearance to people that you're working physically a lot harder than you are, because people respect that. The physical hard work labor. Most guys respect it because they hide spiritually behind the physical work that they do. Dial ain't no different. Man, let's go.
Strive hard for righteousness.
This part I ain't gonna listen to.
And strive in. Because sisters, he gonna
I'm
call
a,
the law on us and every damn thing. I pretty much just let it go. Turn it over to the hands of y'all. And that thing, you've been down there to work on me, help me build that place.
let's see.
In the ministry. I wish he wasn't blinded and then bit so bad. I really truly do, because Elder
You
Craig's a
lie.
good man.
You liar.
He's a damn good man.
He is.
It's just that he's blinded right now.
He ain't blinded.
The spirit that Pastor Rufus is operating in.
He's righteous.
We can pop off a list of what his issues is.
Oh, yeah.
Pastor Corey did that.
Yeah, he did.
So everybody else
wicked ass.
can see.
I'm gonna try to get to.
They came out. He came out.
I know this.
Operate like that.
We know this
I just
dude
want to know
lie.
what's your thoughts.
Well, let me see here. Hold on.
Now I can say what I think, but I don't roll off of what I think or what I feel.
Maybe he asking a question that needs to be heard.
I just look at everything straightforward. I'm looking at it. He came out. He came out. They came out. He came out. And again, this is all stuff that I did not know before the leadership meeting. Now I can say what I think, but I don't roll off of what I think or what I feel. It's based on if it got a witness to it. And so I'm just asking you, based on everything you heard today, because you heard book, right? And then
I think this brother Tim, y'all,
you labored among coming out. Did you already know?
Who lived with me since 2012.
Okay, I mean just general, just.
He's asking Tim's opinion now. See, this is what they hold on.
I didn't know none of this.
What they want to do now is they want the brothers that actually live there to testify against it. If you realize Herbert is an old man that's not doing much work, not doing anything, they don't care about that testimony. Everybody know Vernon is false. You can have an inkling of the Holy Spirit and realize he's motivated by something else. They're trying to get guys like Tim. Now, when you got Caleb stand up and testify of the goodness that I've done, you got another brother like right here. This brother James, he lived in Georgia for a lot of years before we moved him to Alabama and switched him with Emiliano. Emiliano ain't said nothing negative about me. James ain't said nothing negative. That's why they're going to Tim. Listen to what Tim say, y'all. Listen to what Tim say about me.
So I want to know, what is your thoughts on that? Because see, none of us operate like that. So I just want to know, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts is, essentially everything that he told us, he said that y'all were witnesses, especially Elder Mitchell and Elder Becker. To all the, hey, they'll vouch that, Elder Mitchell said that he caught him in a lie, and he did see that December video, and he said that you said that, hey, yeah, I do see this.
Yeah, he talking about you, and that's
right.
My mom said. But what we gonna do about it?
Exactly.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? Let me go back. No, I don't need to go back. Y'all go back, because I'm doing enough stopping and going. Did y'all hear that, though? Tim is sitting here saying that I told them stuff that Elder Mitchell confirmed. And Elder Mitchell said, yeah, I did. But what we going to do about it? Y'all hear that? Stand like men, Elder Mitchell. Stand like men. stand like men.
Because
Okay,
Wow.
all right, hold on. Stop preaching. You. What do he do? He stopped preaching. Pastor Corey. And he got to work. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's true. That's true.
This is how I see it. This is my mindset. Pastor Dow has a parent. Why are you taking this stance? Why are you going this direction? Why don't you just go back to him? Well, he has a problem with me. It's not your job to go to him, to shake him, to make him see and realize that you got a problem with him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If I got a problem with you, is it booked for you to make me see that I got a problem with you?
No, sir.
Okay.
So I just wanted clarity on that because I know you labor.
Now let me tell y'all what happened with this, because they're not gonna get to it in this. Tim was the only one in this meeting that when they did talk to him again, he made a statement like, well, I got a lot to talk to Pastor Rufus about when I get back. See, that's a man's statement, because again, you got an issue with a man. The Bible said, go to him. You've lived with me all these years. We've been laboring together. Tim came in 2012. You've been in this over a decade with me. You owe me at least a conversation. You do, because guess what, y'all? All this stuff they're hearing right here, this was them hearing it for the first time. These were accusations that start coming out from Dow. He pushed this narrative. And then he got these numbnuts up here to support him in it. And you heard Elder Mitchell, well, what are we going to do? Yeah, I did say that. But what are we going to do? That's a man that just threw his hands up and said, you know what? And he did say it. And I think it was in this meeting how he felt like I pressed the issue. And since Pastor's in charge, this is just the end result of it. Live with it. He going to eat them words one day. He going to apologize one day for what he did. Elder knows a lot of stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all right now. Elder Mitchell knows a ton of stuff about Pastor Dow. A ton of stuff. I'm talking about, see, stuff I won't speak on because I'm not the eyewitness. Elder Mitchell is, though. Elder Mitchell's the eyewitness to it. So let's see if he going to be a man. Some of y'all go to him and ask him, what's these eyewitness things you've seen the pastor that's wicked that you ain't talking about, Elder Mitchell? You just see what I'm saying? Have a freaking backbone for Yah. And you don't, Elder Mitchell. Corey, you don't. Mir, you don't. Y'all showing honor and respect to a man more than the truth. Because y'all all know, regardless if you thought I did anything wrong, I guarantee this. Even the ones that thought I did something wrong, besides Mir and Corey, them two right there, these two right here, you ain't, them boogers are sold out for this dude right here. Because again, the jealousy in their heart, they looking at a man that's been an elder all these years. They come in as pastors, but I still get more honor. I still get double honor. I get more respect. I get more love from the people. That's where their jealousy stems from. They like, dang, I'm a pastor. I'm over community too. But why they love Elder Rufus like they love Elder Rufus? They're not fooling nobody. Everybody can see the envy and the jealousy. Elder Mitchell just sold out. That's all he did. He just was weak in this moment. That's it. I still got love for Elder Mitchell, but he was weak. He knows the deep conversations me and him have had about the wickedness of this man. And he was an eyewitness to it. Now, if I got to start talking about it, I will. But I would rather him because he's the eyewitness. Don't protect him because he's your father-in-law. Tell the damn truth. No, he got wore out in this whole process because he was battered by the whole thing. He couldn't believe it. But these men, Mitchell, Becker, they know damn well that nothing went down that I deserve to be put out of fellowship. I deserve for y'all to skip the biblical process of going before the saints and just cast me out. It's cool though. This was a blessing from Yah. I thank the Father for it. Y'all the ones got to answer for that because the book is clear. This dude right here, he hearkened to lies. So everybody that's a servant under him, all of y'all have submitted yourself to this man. All y'all wicked, what the Bible say. Proverbs 29:12. Y'all all wicked. Y'all gonna deal with y'all. Let's go.
To this day.
And I'm gonna move past Corey. Y'all know you can't understand nothing he's saying. No way. He Mr. Confused.
See what you're saying, but I'm gonna do the people.
I don't even want to hear what Mitchell got to say no more. I'm trying to get to the saints, y'all. If the saints got something to say, I'm trying to get to them.
And this don't hear you coming out, ain't gonna,
because they're gonna have to give an answer one day. Believe you me, one day soon. They're gonna have to give an answer.
That ain't the way.
Now I want Deb,
Second
Elder
reading
Becker
that
coming
we
up.
had
This is what I
was
want people to
preached.
hear because hold on. It's been said that every single one of these elders came against me. I want y'all that are spiritual to listen to Elder Becker's talk and listen to him closely. And you tell me if he's actually coming against me. Listen to what he says closely. Listen. And then if you do, if you hear him and you still say, yeah, I think he was coming against you, when you get a chance to go around and ask him. Ask him flat out. Elder Becker, you went through the whole process that got Elder Rufus put out the ministry. Do you think he committed sins that were worthy to be put out the community? I mean, put out of the ministry? Just ask him that one question and see what he tell you. See what he tell you. These wicked dogs right here, they'll say yes. And this spin doctor right here, whatever he showed y'all for 3 hours, thank you for the word. He didn't show you no word. I promise you he didn't. Because I did a video called Numbers 15 and I ate that all up in an hour, showing you they're not going to follow the book. Let's go.
I think we get it.
Oh, we do get it.
Man, if Elder Craig just made that decision, and in the spirit of trying to be right and doing right, I think that.
All right, this is the end of the video, y'all, because y'all know what's happening here. All he's going to do is really talk to them about trying to win Elder Crago back. He's a good man. Only reason he want Elder Crago because Elder Crago's a man of money. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason he wanted Elder Crago, because Elder Crago got a lot of money and he's a giver. Elder Crago didn't just give to Georgia, y'all. He was fellowshipping there, so that's where he should have been depositing the most. But he gave to everyone, every single person there. This dude right here, Elder Crago bought him a tractor because they didn't have no tractor when they got on their land. I ain't gonna go back and show you Elder Mitchell. He did stuff for Elder Mitchell, hunting stuff and fencing stuff. He did stuff for Indiana's community. There's not one community, probably besides Wisconsin, that Elder Crago has not done something major for. And I guess what I told the brethren, this man is full of the Holy Spirit. I've read about men like this that give alms. I've read about it in the book. And I've told all these men, if Elder Crago come to you, that man's in the spirit. You'll be able to see he's in the spirit. He's only doing it because the Holy Spirit led him to do it. That's the only reason he's doing it. So receive. Don't cut this man blessing off. Receive. And he is just a good man. And he stands for truth. That's why he left. He saw this. He said this was a Salem witch hunt. And I felt like the only fire person there with the not a fire hydrant, but what do you call those things? You keep in the house, the little things you put. He said, I felt like I had one of those at a Salem witch hunt. Thou was determined to get rid of me. And guess what? I warned all the saints that he was in Georgia so that they could prepare their houses. This is why you will not hear the Wisconsin tape. This is why you will not hear these 3 audio. And guess what? Michael Israel admitted he is privy to this information because he's on media. Guess what he just admitted, y'all? He got it. Michael Israel got it. Tell Dow and the rest of these cronies to produce the audios so y'all can see. Y'all can hear how I talk to him. Some of y'all ain't going to like it. But if you get past your feelings and emotions and listen to what I'm saying and listen to what the other elders are saying, Dow is lying the whole time. He's been lying the whole time. He's doing what narcissists do. Oh, I'm the victim. He's accusing me. I've done nothing. He's accusing me. That's what Dow been doing since December 9th. He did that up there. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Why am I in this meeting? Oh my God, everybody's coming these accusations against me. What have I done? I ain't done nothing. I ain't got no problem with nobody. That's what he did. He played the victim role. I didn't expect this to be 3 hours. Hey, endure. Do what you do. Some of you will appreciate this. Some of you won't. Some of you won't see the value in it. At the end of the day, those that do, I appreciate you. But I was asked by several people to do a reaction to this. And y'all got to see it. So y'all tell me, what is the major testimony against me as a leader that you heard from these people? They will tell you because they know you're not going to go watch this for an hour and a half. All his brothers testified against him. James didn't say a word. Emiliano didn't testify against me. Tim didn't testify against me. I thought all my brothers testified against me. I thought all the brothers. And then the people he brought up, Ray, Victor, they all gone. I can tell y'all right now, a lot of those people y'all saw sitting on the sides and wasn't saying anything, they're not with Straitway no more. A lot of them ain't. They ain't with Straitway. They have left too. So don't believe the hype when they say nobody followed him. Nobody that lived in that community had the option to follow me. But there were plenty of people that lived around that community and lived around the community of Straitway and live around the community of Kansas City and live around the communities of Kentucky and live around the communities of Indiana and live around the community of Wisconsin, live around the communities in North Carolina, live around the communities in South Carolina. A lot of them are still in contact with me. A lot of them are still supporting what they see me and Elder Crago doing. Why? They know it's holy and it's righteous. We ain't obligating men to serve us. Serve Yah in the spirit of holiness. Don't close your bowels of compassion. If your brother needs something, you got it. Take care of it. That's what they're watching me and Crago do. Because guess what? All these people that leave, they got to go somewhere. They got to be helped by somebody. And guess what? Nobody's obligated. We give the support because Yah has blessed us with the resources. And guess what? You may want to move to Timbuktu. You may want to move to California. You may want to move to Alaska. You may want to move to Texas. You may want to move to Florida. Guess what? We're going to help you do it. You ain't obligated to come and gather with us. You ain't. Just stay in fellowship. Guess what we do? We're connecting people. Hey, I'm going to go here. God, I got 2 or 3 brothers right there already fellowshipping. Go get in fellowship with them. You don't have to be on this large bit of land where one man owns it and controls it. Am I against community? No. No, I'm not. I still believe in community, but I don't believe in community where one man controls everything. That's the one thing I definitely have learned from all this. Everybody cannot be, that's not all things common. Because here's the thing. Look what all Ray invested. Look what all Victor invested. Look what all Nate invested into Straitway. Look what all Brother Rich. These are people y'all know off the top of your head that already left. These are 4 families that left Straitway in the last year, and you act like this is normal. It ain't. Rich been there over 20 some odd years. What did he get? His contribution wasn't valuable? Dow would say no. All those men he called weak. All those men, he said, they never added nothing to me, even though you took their labors and you took their finances for all those years. Those men deserve land, in my opinion. Those men deserve something because most of the men got sons. They deserve to have something that they can pass on to their son. I don't care if it's 1/3 of an acre, 1/2 an acre, 5 acres, 10 acres. I don't care. All that labor and you got nothing. You got nothing. Believe me, my flesh, I was gonna, I had 2 attorneys on this. I'm telling you, I was gonna sue it. I'm telling you I was. And you know attorneys, they're not taking stuff that they don't think they can win. They were happy to take my retainer. And they got it. And then the Holy Spirit kicked in. And I backed out because he told me not to do it. That's the only reason I didn't. But boy, somebody else ain't going to have the Holy Spirit, or somebody else is not, the Holy Spirit ain't going to tell them that. They're going to end up doing it to them, and they're going to clean their clock. Watch. This has turned into cult behavior, undying loyalty. No matter what I say, you do what I say. He telling y'all that this big old dude right here is telling y'all that that's what's supposed to be. Guess where he got that from? NFL. Because in the NFL, you do exactly what the coach tell you or you get fired. And not only fired, the coach will actually possibly make you not ever be able to get a job in the NFL if he badmouth you enough. Y'all heard about people getting blackballed? This is what these guys are afraid of. This is a football player too. He never made the NFL. He wasn't that good, but he played college football at a low level. Same mentality. These military dudes that have all come in, the Gideons, the Dreys, I'm just naming all the military people. They have a certain mindset, y'all. Michael Israel's a military guy. He was in the Air Force or Navy or something, working on planes and all that stuff. But he's got the mentality, you don't go above. Remember what he was saying in that video with Brainwaves? When I kept talking about leadership, you saying nobody can be in charge? Brother, I didn't say that. But no one has to dominate. No one has to dictate. No one has to rule over individuals. Paul didn't rule over anybody. Peter didn't rule over anybody. John didn't rule over anybody. None of the disciples ruled over anybody, y'all. Who did they rule over? And one of the brothers, I think it was Christian Botella, boy, he had a good post. Because Dow's trying to tell everybody now that if you don't live on community, you're going to hell. You believe that? You don't live on community, you're going to hell. And he posted, I think it's the last 2 verses in the book of Acts. I want to say it's 28, Acts 28. And the last 2 verses, go read it. It literally tells you how Paul was living in a rental house for 2 years. And man, nope, we're going to pull it up. I got to pull it up. Because that I don't even want to quote. Let me pull it up here on my phone, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. I want to say it's Acts 28, 26 through 28, something like that. Acts chapter 28. No, it's 30 and 31. This is Acts chapter 28, verses 30 and 31. It says, and Paul dwelt 2 whole years in his own hired house and received all that came in unto him. Why he was living in his own hired house for 2 years. Then it says in 31, he was preaching the kingdom of Yah and teaching those that which concern Yeshua HaMashiach, Lord Jesus Christ, with all confidence and no man forbidding him. Dow's telling y'all now that if you ain't on community, you're going to hell. Paul's sitting there telling you now, I wasn't on community. I wasn't on community. Nobody stopped me. They still kept bringing in funds and everything to me to disperse. And no man forbid me. No man told me, you ain't on community, you can't make it. I think it was a video Dow did. Christian Patella actually put that up there. He put that like when he heard Dow saying, in the video or whatever it was, that, you got to be on community to make it to the kingdom. When you go read Acts, it says they were together. It doesn't say they were together on one piece of land. They were together spiritually. See, Brother Reuben, the one that I complimented for being a righteous brother this whole time and never giving up his being the patriarch of his home and the priest and all that, I'm one with that brother. He could call me right now and get anything I got. He's always been that way to me. I think I'm a leader. And I had to call him and say, brother, thank you for being an example all these years. Everybody, he's a loner. He's this. No. Reuben's here. He's in fellowship. He never broke fellowship with us. Never. And he never declined us. He never closed his bowels of compassion. I've watched that man start here and grow his family up to here. I've been with him when him and his wife had marital struggles like most people do. You know what I mean? When the children needed this and had these things, all that stuff. I watched him endure. I watched him trust Yah. I watched him minister and serve his family. And I watch him do this. Now they're a pillar of an example in Israel for y'all to watch. And he got boys. He got men. I mean, them some big dudes, the Reubenites, man. Ooh, them some big dudes. But they gentle in spirit. They ain't feminine. They ain't soft. The boys, the nephew. No. They men. And they got great love for Israel. Great love. Like he didn't take them out of, when they 14, now you got to act like you 20. No. Be 14, but you still finna work your butt off. You finna get up on these roofs. You finna turn black from putting these shingles down. Wrong hand. Salute, Brother Reuben. Love you, brother. And I called you already and told you how I feel. I still feel that way. I need the world to know how I feel because you were right there. Yah had put you right there in the midst of me as a perfect example. That's what we should be doing. Now, if we decide to get a piece of land, guess what? I'm going to tell y'all how it's going to go down. Yah will bless me with land. I will purchase land. And guess what I'm going to do? When it's time to add brothers to it, he'll tell me the ones to give land to. And I'm going to do it. Watch. And I'm going to help them build their land up. I'm not going to put them on land and say, well, we got this little piece here and I need to build a dining hall here and I need to build a tabernacle here. Guess why? You don't see that in Acts. You don't see that in Acts. It said they went house to house. Ain't that what Acts says? Guess what we're going to do? Help them build their house up. Already got 2 families already that I know I'm doing it for. And it don't matter if it's an acre. It don't matter if it's 2. It don't matter if it's 5. It don't matter. Whatever land y'all bless me with, the first thing coming in is a surveyor. Divide that booger up. If it ain't already divided, because it could already be divided, divide that booger up. And I'm going to make sure you got buildable spots on yours. You get, like, say you get, this is just so small, 2 acres. I'm going to make sure you got at least a half an acre to build on. You can build a ton on a half an acre, y'all. Half an acre is half a football field. You can put 3, 4 houses on that if you want to. At least 2, easily. But I'm going to make sure that I ain't going to just give you crap land. You're going to have just as good a land that I got. You may not have as much. Guess why? Well, I got 4 wives and children, and you see what I'm saying? I may need more than you. So I'll give you the pie. Let's say I got a 10-acre plot of land. I may take 4 or 5. Give a brother 3, give a brother 2. Then we can decide if we want to do something communal, like this is something communal that will work for everybody. If we're going to be doing feasts there and we're going to have people coming and visiting, we may want to put bathrooms and stuff like that around. We could do that. We may even want to add a shower house somewhere that we can put the shower house right on top of 2 people's property so nobody can act a damn fool. You see what I'm saying? Or if one person say, look, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the shower house. Put it on his land then. If you get to acting a fool, put a fence up and you ain't got to worry about it. He got a new shower house. But see, I'm not giving land to people worried about them acting a fool. That's the last thing on my mind. That's not even on my mind. Guess why? Because the Holy Spirit is going to tell me, give this brother and his family this. Give his brother and his family this. I have to be the example of it. I do. Somebody has to be the example. Tell Dow to divide that land he got up there and start giving it to the people that's been there all that time, and I'm talking about just the men. Give it to Brother Scott. Give it to Brother Brett. Give it to Deacon Bell. Give it to Elder Becker. Put land in their name. You know what? Mir, you can do the same thing. Corey, you can do the same thing with a little 17 acres y'all got. Put land in the name of the patriarchs so that they know for sure they got something they can pass down to their children. Putting up a fence is dumb. Didn't y'all hear Dow say here that the first thing he was going to do? When we get our little land, we're going to put a fence up. But he said, when I said it's dumb. Oh, watch it. Y'all going to see. Y'all going to see. I know words are powerful. I'm not going to say something that I don't know for sure that the Most High done told me to say. So somebody got to show you. Because again, I'm grateful that I have lived my life like the book of Acts said. Having all things common. Having nothing that I call my own. Nothing. There's a greater need out there, you get it. Because it's yours anyways. God's bountiful. He's merciful. He gives plenteous. I have more than I will ever need. And guess what? I still eat steaks and good beef every day. I still got a bunch of gym shoes that anybody in the ministry can come get from. What y'all think of these? These are my newest ones. I like these. It's it's a little different. It's a gym shoe, but casual. I can wear these with sweatpants. I can wear these with jeans. Khakis will look good with this. What y'all think of these shoes right here? What y'all think? Look at that. Can y'all, is that where the camera at? Oh, y'all can't see that checkerboard in there. This nice pair of shoe right here. This is called an Anta for those that love shoes. This was Gordon Hayward. He had a contract on Anta. He just retired from the NBA, I think. But this is suede like y'all. This is nice. Real nice shoe. Guess why I can buy this? Because it's a 15 and it's just sitting there on eBay. And it was 160, then it went to 120, then it went to 100, then it went to 97, then it went to 85, then it went to 69, then it went to what I paid for. None of your business what I paid for. That's why I can buy stuff like that. And guess what? The majority of the stuff I get, I don't even wear. The brothers know. Go ask Tim's sons. Go ask Malik. Go ask Malik all the dozens of shoes he got for me that I ain't even wear. I find a good deal, we buy it. And guess what? Somebody will get blessed from it. If I don't wear it, I'm going to find somebody that will. Hallelujah. And guess what? I don't just give away the shoes that, I'm not just using a number, the $50 shoes, the cheap shoes. Because that's a quality shoe. That's a $160 shoe retail. When them came out 3 years ago, that's what they cost. See, I can wait 3 years to wear it. Oh, that's out of style. Not for me. I still can wear it. I still can wear it. I've had shoes that cost over $1,000. I didn't pay that, but that's what they're worth. That I had never wore. Gave them to people. That's what I do. It ain't mine. Nothing I have, I call my own. Nothing. I'm gonna get done with this video. It's been over 3 hours. I got a ton of calls. Y'all see me on my phone. I need to return some of these calls. Some of these people got questions and stuff. I'm gonna throw a little plug in here at the end. I may put a link down in the what's the name for y'all? Not a link, but a reminder. We do have Porch Talk coming up this Thursday, this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and Mother Jennifer, Pastor Rufus and Mother Jennifer will be on that broadcast. Hallelujah. If you want to be blessed in the area of family, if you want to be blessed in the area of relationships, just all out love. Because again, I'm saying this, but y'all know I'm not finna limit y'all. Y'all can talk about whatever needs to be talked about that day. We will have the introductory first, and it's live. It's live. Y'all won't be able to record a video. It's live. And we're going to have interaction, answering questions from the chat and all that kind of stuff. I probably won't pull people up this week to talk, but we will get to that the next time, no doubt. But people need to know who we are, what we are, why we are, and where we are. They're going to find out what y'all got us doing, okay? We're going to let y'all in our life on that level. And like I said, we call it Porch Talk, real talk for real people. For real people. That's what it's going to be. Real talk for real people. All right? And we will still be on our phones because I'm going to be monitoring the trolls. I already know how the devil works. So you come in there with anything sideways, I'm going to boot you. I'm going to boot you. You'll be able to listen still. You just won't be able to comment in the chat room. Y'all notice on this video here, if you go pull this video up on Pastor Dow's channel, notice that there's the comments been cut off. Why would you do that? All your other ones, you don't cut the comments off. You cut it off on this one. You know why they cut them off? Because they didn't like what people were saying. People, wrong way. People read through this, y'all. People, see, Dow underestimated. When he got on here and said, bump the people, the court of public opinion, I don't give two craps about it, that jacked him up big time. Because a lot of those folk are filled with the Holy Spirit. And a lot of those people love what Dow was doing. They might not have been 100% in agreement with his doctrine, but they love the fact that he was structured and building and helping them. They love that. So they supported him in that. Not now they don't. Not now they don't. Not now they don't. So he underestimated the power of that. A lot of those folk are watching what we doing. But I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not finna follow his model. I'm not finna follow that model. Do I believe in community? I do. It just got to be done the right way. And it should never be in one man's name. Never. I don't even want. See, Jesus told us clearly, don't become people's. Don't let them call you rabbi or teacher. Don't let them call you father. Call no man father, because you got a father up in heaven. And call no man your master, because we're all brethren in this. Nobody's obligated to Pastor Rufus, Elder Brent. Nobody. You want to gather with us? Great. That's on you. Y'all will let me know and we will invite you, because right now it's still invite only. And there's a lot of people waiting to come. When y'all tell me they can come, they can. And guess what we're doing though, y'all? Even though we live, a couple of hours, this and that, so from each other, we still doing house to house. We'll gather one time here at my place. We'll gather at Elder Brent's place. We'll gather at some of the other brothers' places. We have multiple places that we gather. We're following what this book say. That's what we're going to do. I know this was long, probably the longest video I've ever done. But I was asked to do this video. So those that ask me, you sit there and endure for this 3+ hours. You asked me to do it. I've labored and put it there together. I didn't skip no major parts. Y'all got to hear the testimonies of all these brothers that were so-called against me. Y'all got to hear what these people had to say. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right? So y'all endure. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Remember, salvation is going to be given to those that endure to the end. Not those that run the race the fastest. Not those that are the strongest. Not those that are the swiftest. You got to have endurance substance. Don't forget that. All right, man. Love y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom.